Star-Spangled Banner prior to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series between the Monarchs and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Monarchs won it last night in triple overtime, 4-3 on the goal by Zach O'Brien. Chris Ryan, as always, between the benches. And Chris, what are you looking for tonight in Game 2? Hold on just a second, Chris. We have a technical malfunction up here. Completely my fault. Take it away. What are you looking for tonight?
Let's see what both of these teams have. I mean, last night, the most remarkable part about that game was how much the guys had to give in the second and third overtime and how much they were continuously, shift after shift, playing good, hard, fast hockey. This is a back-to-back. This is two teams that were here, playing and competing for the game 20 hours ago. Certainly the Monarchs going to have a little bit more jump based upon the win you would expect, but Wilkes-Barre also knows they need to have a good contest.
Off the face-off, Vincent Loverty sends the puck into the neutral zone. Wheel with it over the line left side. Wheel with it. Sends it along the end wall behind the net to Brian O'Neill. Monarchs scored at 18 seconds of the opening period last night, but they're not going to do it tonight. Now with it, Sheary drops it off for Ebbett. Ebbett throws it into the right wing corner, giving chase Bodnarchuk in his own zone. Bod's tied up, stolen away by Kostopoulos. Puck is loose, and the Monarchs come away with it. Now with it, Brian O'Neill. O'Neill goes down along the left wing wall. Puck sent back in behind J.F. Berube, and behind the net, Vincent Loverty collects for the Monarchs in his own end. Opening minute of play here in Game 2. Kempe is bumped as he tried to cross the line. He goes down. And we get a stoppage in play, as I believe it was an offside whistle against the Monarchs. We've played 52 seconds of the opening period.
Yeah, a lot of battle early on in this game from both teams. Both teams competing hard along the wall, as you would expect. Face off just outside of the Wilkes-Barre zone.
Nick Shore taking the draw for the Monarchs against Jason Megna of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Just underway here at the Verizon Wireless Arena on a hot May night. Puck is loose in the corner. Now Megna digs it free, has it, sends it far side, kept in by Kempe. Kempe on the puck for the Monarchs, pass deflected, and giving chase is Colin Miller. Miller slides it across to Jeff Schultz. His pass knocked down by the Penguins. Shot by Megna goes over the net. Puck is loose far side. On it is Loverty. Or rather Miller, I should say. Played into the neutral zone. Schultz on it. Puck is loose at center ice. Miller sends it far side to Schultz. And on it now, Vandergulik over the line. Vandergulik sends it behind the net. Dowd has it left wing side to Vandergulik. His shot goes just wide. Couldn't get a whole lot on it. Now puck sent ahead in the neutral zone by McNeil. Knocked down by Gravel. Throws it off the end wall. McNeil takes the rebound off the end boards. Has it behind his own net. Chased by Dowd on the forecheck. Drops it off for Dumoulin. Dumoulin starting out of his own end. Drops it off for Rowney. Rowney shifting over the line. Kuhnhackle's drive is deflected at the bottom of the left wing circle. Puck is loose along the wall in the Manchester end of the ice. Played a little over 2 minutes of period number 1 here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Now puck comes free. Monarchs on it, center ice. Vandergulik plays it off the far wall, collected by Pouliot. Pouliot plays it ahead to Kuhnhackle. Now giving chase Gravel. Gravel plays it behind the net. Now Crescenzi on it. Pokes it ahead for Horvat. Horvat with it. Drops it off for Zach O'Brien. O'Brien in the neutral zone. Plays it off the left wing boards. And on the puck for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins is Goers.
No shots yet in this contest so far, Ken. Everything has been to the outside so far. Difficulty getting those tape-to-tape passes.
Bobby Farnham plays it off the left wing wall. Farnham has some friends and relatives here tonight, we understand. Bodnarchuk with it. I'm sure he did last night as well, out of North Andover, Mass.
And one lineup change for the Monarchs tonight. We're seeing it right now with a Horvat in for Grattan. That's the only change. It's a good one. As Auger throws a big hit. So he takes down Sundqvist, and Sundqvist won't let go of Horvat's stick.
Sundqvist, by the way, is making his North American professional debut here in tonight's game. Now Wheel taken hard into the wall by Harrington.
Harrington takes Wheel out. Wheel very much used to that. Just pops right back up.
Now Wheel with it. Wheel to O'Neill down low. His drive save. Rebound out in front. And it's skated behind the net by Kostopoulos.
Yeah, Big Mike was on the net mouth as Wheel threw it towards the cage. That's shot number 1 of the contest. Monarchs getting it to the net with that line. Playing together again. They finished the game together last night.
Andrew Ebbett over the line, left side. His shot saved by Berube, and he covers it up in the blue paint.
And Jordan Wheel having none of it as he has his arm draped around, I believe it's Sheary, who had a great game last night for Wilkes-Barre Scranton. And again, we talked about it a lot last night. The Monarchs want to win the net mouth battle, whether it's around JF or in front of the Wilkes-Barre cage and Matt Murray. That's where the Monarchs want to have success in this contest, and Jordan Wheel not wanting to see Sheary behind his netminder.
Face-off will come in the Monarch zone. We've played exactly 4 minutes of the opening period. No score in this one. Shots even at 1 apiece. Gravel drops it off for Forbert. Forbert's pass deflected, but taken by Crescenzi. Sends it into the right wing corner in the Wilkes-Barre end of the ice. Puck wrapped around the wall, far side on a Tom Kostopoulos. TK plays at neutral zone. Dumoulin on it. Sends it in off the left wing boards. On it is Forbert behind the net, bumped by Sheary. Now Forbert comes up with it, pokes it into the trapezoid. Gravel has it. Ahead to Backman. Backman sends it neutral zone off the far wall. Puck comes in on Murray, and he covers it up in the blue paint. And now Shore tied up.
Yeah, Shore gave a face wash to Murray, and Shorney didn't like that.
Oh, Chorney and Shore.
Oh, spray.
Yep.
Spray and go for Murray there. As Shore pulled up right in front of the netminder.
Dumoulin in it as well. Behind the net.
Battle.
Chorney is being escorted to the penalty box, as
Shore
is Shore. Yeah.
Not sure why Shore gets taken off for that. I'm not sure what he did other than have Chorney draped around his neck and get tossed around.
Yeah, I don't quite get it either, but nonetheless, they are where they are, and they are both in the penalty box at the 4:34 mark of period number 1.
It's like if you go into a bar and a guy picks a fight with you, and you get arrested for being there. I'm not quite sure.
Something akin to that, I suppose.
No, you get beat up on behind the net, and you're going to the penalty box? Come on.
Face off right circle to the left of Matt Murray. A wheel on the draw. 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. Goers behind the net. Goers starting out of his own zone. Goers plays it ahead, neutral zone. Over the line, nice hit there by Loverty on Archibald along the left wing wall.
Yeah, really strong hip check from Vinny right there to seal him off. Now O'Neill with the head of steam.
Now Brian O'Neill takes it behind the net on the back end. O'Neill stumbled into the right wing corner.
He stumbled in that play because Goers was all over him.
Now Goers sends it behind the net, far side. Megna plays it back to the line. And a shot from the right point as D couldn't get too much on it. Some lineup changes. Now scuffle breaking out in the right wing corner in the Monarchs end of the ice. 14:45 to go in the opening period. Some lineup changes for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins as Jean-Sebastian D is in the lineup tonight. He did not play last night, nor did Archibald. And we mentioned that Oscar Sundqvist is making his North American professional debut in this one as well. So, head coach John Hines mixing things up a little bit tonight. Face off right.
They have a ton of bodies they're traveling with, so why not? I mean, if you have players that you're comfortable putting into the lineup after a game like last night, and go ahead and put some fresh bodies out there. To be honest, I kind of like the approach.
Schultz with it along the end wall, now in the corner. Plays it behind the net for Miller. Miller's pass deflected, taken by Zach O'Brien. Back to Miller. Miller trying to get away from the forechecking of D. who opened the season with the Penguins in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. Now Dumoulin with it. Dumoulin plays at neutral zone to D. Now Sheary gains the line. Sheary plays it off the end wall. Now Miller collects behind his own net. Colin Miller with it. Miller just over the red line, throws it off the glass behind Murray. Giving chase down in the corner, knocked away by Pouliot. Kept in by Gravel along the left wing wall. He wraps it around the wall on the near side. Puck is loose, stolen by Pouliot. Pouliot at center ice. Pouliot sends it right wing side. Ebbett has it, drops it off for Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos has it left wing side. Captain of the Penguins. Back out it goes. Shot by Goers is blocked. Backman with it. Backman in the neutral zone. Backman shifting over the line. Right side, right circle. His drive saved by Murray. Rebound knocked away by Harrington.
Yeah, shot ate him up, though, as it got up high on the net minor. Big rebound, but the Monarchs did not have anybody around the cage.
Now Backman's pass. Dowd gets a stick on it, but it's collected far side by Goers. Barry Goers sends it near side to Harrington.
Good pressure here for the Monarchs. Mersch working behind the net. Shore applying pressure. Augie out there as well.
Now puck is loose. Pops up into the air along the right wing wall. Taken by Rowney. Drops it off for Goers. Now kept alive by Bodnarchuk. Bodnarchuk behind the net. Tries the wraparound. Throws it in front.
Puck loose.
And it's smothered by
it was
Murray.
in the skates.
Wow.
Nobody quite knew where it was. Auger was there. 3 Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins there. Shorzy there as well. But I love, as I mentioned before, when the Monarchs D gets active, they pinch along the wall and make things happen, put pressure on the opposition. That's what Bob did right there. 12:51 to go here in the first period of play. We are scoreless in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Back with more on the Monarchs Radio Network after this.
Dr. Joseph Sheehan, DDS, has been the dentist for your Manchester Monarchs since 2001. Specializing in family dentistry, Dr. Sheehan now offers the CEREC one-day crown system, where your crown is done in just one visit. Other services include connecting and treating all dental diseases, needleless laser dentistry, promoting overall dental and oral health for all ages. Located in the Manchester Yard, 135 Dow Street, Suite 401. Call Dr. Sheehan at 604-624-0641.
Morgan Press is a proud supporter of the Manchester Monarchs. Why not let Morgan Press be a proud supporter of your business? For over 30 years, Morgan Press has been delivering quality work at a reasonable price. Morgan Press, for all your commercial offset and digital printing needs. Please visit our website.
8 seconds, 8.
All right.
www.morganpress.com. That's www.morganpress.com.
12:51 to go here in period number 1 at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs out shooting the Penguins 3-1 in this scoreless game. Shore will take the face-off. Left wing circle to the right of Matt Murray. Off the draw, puck is loose. Miller with it in the slot. Miller's drive deflected just wide into the right wing corner.
Miller was huge for the Monarchs in Game 1, doing things just like that.
Schultz with a shot, saved by Murray.
Got the 5-0s ticketed to go in between.
Now with it, Uer bumped along the wall by Shore. Shore battling for it along the wall.
Is great right now.
Schultz, a drive again, and that one will clip the side of the net. Now
Backman,
Shore.
Great net front presence there. Deflected that puck wide, but was providing a good screen on Murray.
On the corner, Chorney with it. Chorney plays it ahead to Kuhnhackl, who sends it into the Monarchs' end of the ice.
Ken, the Monarchs' forecheck is great right now. They're turning Wilkes-Barre over either in their own end or the neutral zone, not allowing any sort of a rush. And that's key, obviously, because it creates offense for the Monarchs, but it also keeps Wilkes-Barre from transitioning. They have a really fast group of forwards, and you keep them pinned into their own zone and having difficulty holding onto the puck, and it's a really good thing for the Monarchs.
Wilson plays it ahead. Archibald moving in, left wing side. Throws it behind the net. Far side, Vandergulik on it. Clears it all the way down the length of the ice.
Great job by Vinny there, Ken, as he was in on Archibald, as Archibald had the step on him, and Vinny just used his body to push him off the play and force that shot to go behind the cage.
Face-off will come in the Manchester zone following the icing call against the Monarchs. Face-off right circle to the left of J.F. Berube, making his 7th consecutive postseason start. Goals against of 2.67, a save percentage of .878 for JF. Off the draw, back it goes to Pouliot. Throws it into the left wing corner. Puck taken by the Monarchs. Dowd plays it ahead. Gravel's pass is knocked down. Side of the circle. Farnham wraps it around the wall. Pouliot keeps it in right side. Drops it off. And it's wound around the wall by Sundqvist. Taken by D. D throws it off the end wall. Vandergulik giving chase far side. Pass kept in by Sundqvist. Shot from the right wing circle and a save by Berube, and he covers up the rebound.
Farnham,
and now here we go.
Just throwing punches at anybody around there. He's, again, a man possessed around the net. Both hands flailing around the cage. JF, I mean, there's no play there for Farnham. JF just makes a very calm save. He comes out, cuts the angle, deadens the puck, and has a hold of it. And then Farnham just comes in and starts throwing punches at people. And again, as usual, he looks over at the Monarchs bench, looking rather dazed.
Dazed and confused. Face-off right circle to the left of J.F. Berube. No score in this one. 11:08 to go in period number 1. Megna taking the face-off against Jordan Wheel. Pair of 19s on the draw. But Wheel will be thrown out of the circle, and Mersch will take the face-off. Mersch and Megna taking the draw. Puck loose, Gravel on it, sends it around the wall for Wheel. Wheel has it, his pass knocked down, gets it back. Wheel now for Gravel. Gravel drops it off the right wing boards. On it is Goers. Goers in the corner, bumped, stolen by O'Neill. O'Neill has it left wing side, back out to the line to Forbert. Left wing side, O'Neill, his shot deflected.
And told Mersch had to peel off to get that puck. He was just camped out in front of the net. They can't move Mersch out from the net mouth. That is a big, big deal for the Monarchs.
Brian O'Neill with it. Left wing circle, score! Oh, wrister by O'Neill from the bottom of the left wing circle. Beating Matt Murray. And the Monarchs lead it 1-0.
And obviously Brian O'Neill makes that happen. But again, Mersch in the net front presence, a big deal for the Monarchs. It's a focus. When you have Mersch playing the way that he is out front, everybody's kind of cheating a little bit, to make sure that they can try to tie him up. Mersch gets into the corner, quick on that puck, able to get it to O'Neill, and O'Neill does the rest. This is a very special line for the Manchester Monarchs right now, and they are having tremendous success. And again, Mersch battles for it in the corner. Nice backhand pass after the puck battle wins, and O'Neill steps in. Murray comes out a little bit, and O'Neill finds the seam in the netminder. Great shift from Michael Mersch.
Now puck loose behind the net. Monarchs battling for it in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton zone, but Penguins managed to clear it into the Monarchs end of the ice after a scramble in front. Now Miller sweeps it around the wall. Puck comes into the neutral zone. O'Neill picking up his 5th of the postseason from Mersch and Wheel, the official, on the first goal of the night at 9:28 of the opening period. Now the Monarchs started out of their own end. Miller with it, plays it neutral zone to Auger. Auger throws it off the far wall. Battling with Dumoulin. Now Shore with it. Shore in the right wing corner along the right wing wall. Back out to the line. Laverty's drive saved by the goaltender. Now taken by Dumoulin. Plays it behind the net for Chorney.
Rebound control is problematic now for Murray. He's not really doing much good with the rebounds except leaving them out.
Now knocked away from Kostopoulos by Dowd. Puck winds up in the neutral zone. Dowd on it in front of his own bench. Drops it off for Vandergulik. Stolen away by Kuhnhackl. Kuhnhackl throws it into the left wing corner. Laverty plays it behind the net, far side to Bodnarchuk. Bods has it to Dowd. Dowd tied up by a pair of Penguins. Monarchs come away with it. Zach O'Brien, last night's hero, sends it into the neutral zone. Now Dowd with it over the line. Dowd right circle. His shot was deflected by Pouliot. And now Uwer playing without a stick as he lost it along the end wall. Gravel collects.
I said it last night, Ken. These two teams are very similar, but I really like the way the Monarchs match up with Wilkes-Barre. And even if the Monarchs had lost last night, that would be my big takeaway from that game. And we see it here again. I mean, the Monarchs have been quietly dominant in this first period, and they've gotten good opportunities.
Now thrown out in front by Auger, but stolen by Wilson. Neutral zone. Wilson plays it off the far wall. Forbert Drops it off for Crescenzi. Chips it into the neutral zone. Knocked down by Horvat. Horvat, a last-minute replacement for Josh Gratton in the lineup.
I mean, we look at this game so far, really no scoring opportunities for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Monarchs have done a really good job of turning them over in the offensive zone and the neutral zone. Monarchs' offensive zone and the neutral zone. And they've created some opportunities, but not a ton.
Stolen neutral zone by Farnham. And the feisty Farnham sends it off the end wall. Back out to the line it goes. Harrington with it. His drive goes wide to the stick side of Berube. Mersch with it on the far wall. Kept alive by D. Jean-Sebastien D. Has it. Side of the right wing circle. Back out to the line to Goers. Goers shot deflected by Mersch. Into the corner. Farnham plays it behind the net. Uer on it now for the Penguins. D battling with Wheel along the end wall. Puck is loose. On it is Forbert. Kept in by Harrington left side. Harrington sends it behind the net for Bobby Farnham. Farnham on the backhand. Farnham bottom of the left wing circle. Now Farnham goes down along the left wing wall.
Fans like that.
Now far side kept in by Goers. Goers just inside the line. Drops it off of Uer. Now to Ebbett. Ebbett to Goers. His shot goes wide. Rebound Sheary. Right circle. His shot deflected. Knocked out.
Right now. They need a clear. And they get it.
Now the Monarchs change up on the fly. On it is Harrington. Harrington's pass knocked down by O'Neill. Right circle. O'Neill throws it in front. Scooped up by Matt Murray. And play comes to a halt. 6:48 to go. Opening period on a goal by Brian O'Neill. The Monarchs lead it 1-0. Back in 60 seconds on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Manchester Subaru is New England's largest volume Subaru dealer. Come check out the all-new Subaru 2015 Outback, starting at $269 per month. Don't forget about the family favorite vehicle, the Forester, getting 32 higher miles per gallon. If pricing is your goal, Manchester Subaru will never put you in the penalty box. Call them today at 888-223-7455 or visit them on the web at manchestersubaru.com. Test drive a Subaru and receive 2 tickets to any Manchester Monarchs home game.
22 veterans die by suicide each day. You can help. The Home Base program provides critical support to our veterans and families. Join us Saturday, July 25th at Cross Home Plate at Fenway Park. I run for my son,
my sister,
my country. Who will you run for? Register for the Run to Home Base presented by
7 seconds.
at runtohomebase.org. Their mission is complete. Ours has just begun.
6:48 to go in the opening period. Game 2 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series. Monarchs lead it 1-0. Best of 7. Game 3 Saturday night. 7:05 at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Face off right circle to the left of Matt Murray, making his 5th consecutive playoff start.
There's a lot of subtleties to Brian O'Neill's game, which are tremendous as well. And you saw it at the end of the shift there. He makes the smart play. He gets the offensive zone face-off. He knows the time of the game. He's at the end of his shift, but does a little bit extra to get down the board and get it towards the net.
That Yale education is not going to waste. Nick
Yeah, he's
Shore.
smarter than us, Ken.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie to you.
No, I will agree with you there. No question about it. Nick Shore will take the draw against Andrew Ebbett. Right wing circle to the left of Murray. Now Kostopoulos on the far side. Sends it all the way down into the Monarchs' end of the ice. Miller giving chase. Miller goes down along the end wall. Penguins come away with it. Shore battling for it. Now far side Kempe along the right wing wall, but it's kept in by the Penguins. Chorney a drive and a glove save. Backhanded glove save by Berube, and he hangs on. With 6:28 remaining here in period number 1, Monarchs 1, Penguins nothing. Brian O'Neill with his 5th of the postseason. Mersch and Wheel with the assists. So O'Neill with 5, Wheel with 5, Mersch with 5, leading the way for the Monarchs as far as goal scorers are concerned here in the postseason. Face off right circle to the left of JF. Off the draw, puck is loose. Monarchs battling for it. Horvat along the right wing wall, shovels it ahead. Monarchs have it. Crescenzi in the neutral zone, banks it off the left wing boards. Now Dumoulin tied up. Crescenzi gets it back. Crescenzi tries to hit Bodnarchuk at the left point, but the pass goes all the way down into the Monarch zone, fielded by Berube, drops it off for Bodnarchuk. Horvat plays it ahead. Crescenzi takes a poke at it. Now Horvat center ice. 2-on-1 with Auger. Auger left wing circle, moving in front. His shot saved by Murray and cleared away by the Penguins, but not out.
Great net drive by Auger. In that instance, you create some chaos. You try to squeeze it through, but he could not find the back of the net.
McNeil drops it back to Pouliot. Plays it neutral zone. Now Uher sends it to McNeil in his own end. Off the stick of Kuhnhackl, taken by Forbert, drops it off for Gravel. Gravel plays it ahead to Dowd, stolen away by the Penguins, but the Monarchs come back with the puck and drop it into the Penguin zone, taken by Harrington. Harrington drops it off for Rowney. Back to Harrington in his own end. His pass eludes goers. He's being chased by Vandergulik. Vandergulik.
Tenacious is Vandergulik.
He is a tenacious player, without question. Certainly an outstanding forechecker and a great penalty killer. And now it's Wheel over the line, right side. Wheel takes it down low in the right wing corner. Wheel with it. Wheel skates it just inside the line. Now shot by O'Brien and a save by Murray at the far post. Mersch battling for the puck behind the net. Mersch back out to Schultz left side. In the middle, in the slot to O'Neill, a shot deflected into the right wing corner. Now Wheel with it along the right wing wall. Wheel plays it along the end wall for Mersch. Mersch and Goers battling for it. Now O'Neill steps in. Puck loose along the right wing wall. Mersch tried to hit Miller, but it's stolen away by Kuhnhackl. Now Uher with it. Uher sends it off the right wing wall. Cracked down behind the net by Colin Miller. 1-0 Monarchs, 4:10 to go in the opening period. Center ice, Shore on it. Shore plays it behind the net, skips over the stick of Murray. Now Dumoulin with it in the trapezoid. Drops it off for Chorney. Chorney sends it neutral zone, comes all the way down on the Penguins' end of the ice. Tracked down by Bodnarchuk. Bod's on it for the Monarchs in the corner. Bumped by Megna. Back out to the line. The pass was intended, but Dumoulin could not keep it in. Drops it off center ice. Shore on it. Shore skates down the middle. Fans on the shot. Got it back. Another shot saved near post by Murray. Now Backman plays it far side to Kempe. Kempe throws it off the near wall. Loverty pokes it into the right wing corner. Now on it is Dumoulin. Dumoulin sends it ahead into the neutral zone. Knocked down by Captain Vincent Loverty of the Monarchs.
Yeah, zone time for the Monarchs has been great here in this first period of play. There's been a couple rushes here and there for Wilkes-Barre, and that's been about it. Monarchs have been really strong.
Gravel drops it behind the net, far side for Forbert. Kept in by Sheary as the Monarchs turn it over. Now Kostopoulos with it. Right wing side. Drops it off for Sheary. Now to Ebbett. Ebbett along the right wing wall. Poked away by the Monarchs. Pouliot able to keep it in at the line for the Penguins. Kostopoulos battles along the left wing wall. Sheary wraps it around the wall. Kept in by Pouliot. Pouliot's pass stolen by Gravel. Plays it neutral zone. McNeil knocks it down for the Penguins. Slides it across to Pouliot. With 2:35 to go in the opening period, Monarchs on top 1-0. We saw 4 goals in the first period last night. And the Monarchs certainly have been the dominant team in this opening 17 minutes plus of the first period. Now icing called against the Penguins. And now some words being exchanged between
Wheel and Farnham. Wheel wants nothing to do with Farnham, as he shouldn't want anything to do with him. Farnham, and now O'Neill's being chased around by McNeil.
Yep.
I mean, what you're seeing right here, Ken, is a Wilkes-Barre team that has no life. I mean, they have no life in this game. They need, and Farnham is just trying to get him going, or maybe it's just him being him, but it's kind of surprising the lack of sense of urgency from Wilkes-Barre so far in this contest. They haven't dug in and competed in this game, and the Monarchs have, really been able to impose their will. As I mentioned, not a tremendous amount of scoring chances in this game, but they've created a good amount of chances, and they've really been able to dominate in the zone and turn Wilkes-Barre over consistently.
O'Neill with it Left wing circle, his shot saved by Murray, and the net becomes dislodged behind Matt Murray. So we have a stoppage with 2:14 to go here in the opening period. Monarchs 1 and the Penguins nothing. Monarchs out shooting the Penguins 11-3. Faceoff will come in the left circle to the right of Matt Murray. 12 regular season shutouts for Matt Murray, including one against the Monarchs. Wheel will take the draw against Megna. Bobby Farnham going to the bench, and he gets booed from the Monarchs fans.
Muppet.
Wheel will take the draw, and we'll try it again. False start. Joe Ross, veteran linesman, kicking Wheel out of the circle, and O'Neill will take the draw against Megna. Off the face-off, won by the Penguins. With it, Wilson in the neutral zone. Wilson plays it ahead. Now Archibald taken down by Schultz in the left wing circle. Puck is loose. Schultz sends it far side, kept in by Chorney. Now Wilson on it, throws it in the right wing circle. Wheel has it there for the Monarchs.
In his Jeff Schultz way, Ken, he has had an incredible playoff. We noted it a lot that Javi did up in Portland. Bodies flying down here.
Now Chorney with it in the neutral zone. Puck taken by the Monarchs. Center ice. Over the line. O'Neill lets it fly. Saved by Murray. Puck loose out in front. And now Murray winds up in the back of the cage.
Chorney wanted to push Mersch off the play. The puck was beyond Mersch as Mersch was skating towards the net. It was actually more towards the high slot on the rebound opportunity, but the puck was out there. A really strong initial stop for Murray to keep that one out of the back of the net. Monarchs continue to create scoring chances. Not great pass out of the zone. O'Neill lets it rip, and he gets it with the blocker, and the puck just evades Michael Mersch.
1:35 to go in the opening period. 1-0 Monarchs. Faceoff will come in the left wing circle. Shore will take the draw up front with Auger and Backman. Bodnerchuk and Loverty, the defensive tandem for the Monarchs. The net still is not in its proper position, as more adjustments are necessary to get it on its moorings down there. Off to our right. Don't forget, Game 3 will be played in Wilkes-Barre Saturday night, 7:05. We'll have it for you right here on the flagship station for Manchester Monarchs hockey, ESPN New Hampshire. 1250 in Manchester and vicinity, 900 in Nashua on the AM dial. Off the draw with it is Loverty. Loverty plays it into the left wing corner. Off the stick of Kuhnhackl, kept in by Bodnerchuk to Loverty. Loverty to Backman. Backman's pass stolen away by Kuhnhackl. Kuhnhackl just over the line. Plays it deep. Taken down by Bodnerchuk, and we're going to get a penalty coming up here with 1:16 to go in the opening period.
The first power play of the game for either team. As I mentioned before, I didn't like the previous call. I didn't think Shore should have gone off, for that double matching minor in regards to roughing. And this time it'll be Vinny Loverty that heads off. And again, important here for the Monarchs to close out this period strong. And yeah, I don't like that call at all, as I didn't see the stick get in at all. It looked like there's just body-on-body contact between Loverty and the Wilkes-Barre forward. So not a huge fan of that call.
Face off, left wing circle to the right. Berube. Monarchs go on the Terminix penalty kill for the first time tonight. Andrew Ebbett taking the draw. Dowd got kicked out of the circle, and Crescenzi will take the face off for the Monarchs. Left wing circle to the right of Berube. Forbert wraps it around the wall. Puck comes deep into the Penguins' end of the ice. Tracked down by Derek Pouliot. Pouliot drops it off for Wilson behind his own net to Pouliot. Pouliot starting out of his own zone. Less than a minute remaining. Now Ebbett broken up as he tried to cross the line. Here comes Nick Dowd. Dowd, neutral zone, plays it deep in the Penguins' end of the ice. Kostopoulos takes it behind his own net. TK starts it out of his own zone. Center ice, Kostopoulos. Ebbett, back out it goes to Wilson for a drive that's blocked by Mersch. On it, Pouliot at center ice. Plays it ahead for Ebbett, giving Chase Sheary. Throws it in near post, and it's stopped by J.F. Berube, and he covers it up with 29.2 seconds remaining here in period number 1.
Now, focus for the Monarchs here, this final 29.2 seconds, absolutely huge. You've had a dominant first period of play. You have only holding a 1-0 lead at this point in time. Very important for the Monarchs to close this out and start that off with a Nick Shore face-off win.
Face-off left circle to the right of J.F. Berube. 29.2 seconds to go in the period. Face-off won by the Penguins on it. D has it along the left wing wall. His pass to Megna, back out to the line to Dumoulin. Now on a Chorney right side. Chorney in the circle, drops it off from Megna. Center point Dumoulin. His drive saved by Berube.
A good redirect out front as Kuhnhackl redirected it behind the net.
Now the Monarchs scale it the length of the ice just wide of Murray, and that's going to do it for the opening period here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. As the Monarchs skate off the ice with a 1-0 lead over the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins on this Thursday night, game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series. The only goal of the period, Brian O'Neill, his 5th of the postseason, from Michael Mersch and Jordan Wheel at 9:28. Chris Ryan standing by downstairs, and momentarily he will be talking with a member of the Monarchs. And also in this intermission, stand by all you folks in St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador, especially the Cowan Heights area, so you can hear an interview with last night's hero, Zach O'Brien. Chris Ryan working his way down the runway, and Chris, we turn it over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ken. Joined by Vinny Laverty after the first period of play. I thought a really dominant first period for the Monarchs. Offensive zone time, the way you guys were able to turn them over in the offensive zone, the neutral zone, and really tight D zone too, is one of the more dominant periods we've seen in the postseason for you guys.
Yeah, I thought we played well. I mean, we talked in the locker room about coming out and getting off to a good start, and I thought we did that for the most part. We know that Wilkes-Barre is going to come out with a good push here in the second, so we've got to be prepared for it.
When you look at the impact that Michael Mersch has had for the Monarchs in the postseason, and I really see it obviously on that goal, the net front presence, drawing attention there, peels off into the corner, and then has those soft hands to put it on to Brian O'Neill, who does the rest, and he's been an absolute monster for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's been unbelievable this postseason. I mean, he's been unbelievable this whole entire year. I mean, he's a big body with good hands, like you said, gets to the net, gets to the hard areas, and kudos to him. He's played very well, and he's a great kid, so it's well deserved.
Final thing, and you've talked a lot this year about the conditioning, and you pride yourself in being probably the best conditioned of a greatly conditioned hockey club, and I think we saw that obviously last night with the caliber of play in the second overtime and third overtime, but today I think that's really the day where the conditioning comes into play, because obviously you guys are hurting a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we played, basically 5.5 periods yesterday or whatever it was, so a huge part of it is just preparing overnight, getting some liquids in you, get some food in you, and coming back and playing a good period. A lot of it's mental, and we like to think we have a pretty resilient group of guys in there, and so I mean, like I said before, the first period's been great, and we look to build off it.
Vinny, thanks a lot.
Yep, thank you.
Monarchs captain Vinny Laverty, strong first period for the Manchester Monarchs. Really strong first period all around for the hockey club as they lead 1-0. After one, we send it up to you, Ken.
All right, Chris, thank you very much, and thanks to Monarchs captain Vincent Laverty for joining us between periods 1 and 2 here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. And as Laverty said, the Monarchs have been a resilient team all season long, and have to be resilient, bouncing back from almost 5.5 periods of hockey last night here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Game 1, 4-3 in triple OT by the Monarchs. 1-0 on a Brian O'Neill goal in the opening period. Shots through period number 1, 12 for the Monarchs and 5 for the Penguins. Monarchs 1, Penguins 0. Back in 2 minutes on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network. I just basically saw her face.
Okay. If you're up for whatever you ask, submit your 15-second video with hashtag up for whatever and hashtag audition for a test now. Red light, the perfect gift.
Mike's on board tonight.
Enjoy responsibly. Website beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis Bus Club.
Imagine a new model for healthcare where no one has to face cancer alone, where patients are the center of a comprehensive cancer-fighting team. It's happening here in New England. Imagine doctors armed with the latest technology and treatment options, and working with you as a partner in all your treatment decisions.
We join the music in 9.
All right.
Norris Cotton Cancer Center at cancer.dartmouth.edu. Dartmouth Hitchcock. Imagine.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena. Ken Cale with you, along with Chris Ryan and our producer at the flagship, Tim Glenday. We are between periods 1 and 2 with the Monarchs on top by a score of 1-0. Brian O'Neill lighting the lamp for the 5th time in this postseason at the 9:28 mark of the opening period. Good wrist shot from the bottom of the left wing circle. O'Neill's 5th from Mersch and Wheel, and that is the difference here tonight. Although the Monarchs were clearly the dominant team in that opening period, as not only did they outshoot the Penguins by a margin of 12-5, but they also had certainly a lot more zone time in the Penguins' end than the Penguins had in the Monarchs' end of the ice. So we hope that continues through the next 40 minutes of hockey here tonight at the Verizon Wireless Arena. This is Game 2. Monarchs winners last night by a score of 4-3 in triple overtime on the goal by Zach O'Brien in the overtime session. Don't forget now, Saturday night, game number 3 at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. That game will also be on our flagship station, ESPN New Hampshire. That's 12:50 a.m. in the Manchester area and 900 a.m. in the Nashua area. Also on ESPNNHradio.com. As we get set for second period action here tonight, and most of the rest of the action will be on our sister station, WSMN AM 1590 and WSMNradio.com. Zach O'Brien last night scoring the game winner 4:13 into the third overtime period. His first goal of the 2015 playoffs and the third playoff goal of his American Hockey League career. J.F. Berube earning the victory, making 40 saves on 43 shots. Matt Murray took the loss. He made 52 saves on 56 Monarch shots last night. Monarchs have won the first game of each of their last 3 playoff series beginning last year. Monarchs on top of the Penguins by a score of 1-0 after one period of play. Brian O'Neill's 5th goal of the postseason, the difference. We'll take a break and be back with more at the Verizon Wireless Arena right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Stop in the JV.
That's the Energy North Propane commitment. EnergyNorthPropane.com.
Manchester Oral Surgery. Treat your Manchester Monarchs for their face injuries.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that don't sound good.
Talk about the emotion was like for you in ending the game.
And state-of-the-art infused bone grafting allows Dr. Hochberg and Able to work with your dentist to replace your missing teeth without the need for removable dentures. Go with Monarchs to improve your injuries. Dr. Hochberg and Able can be reached at www.manchesteroralsurgery.com or by calling 622-9441.
State Farm, this is Greg.
Just calling to say thanks for the gift of that item. We switched our auto and home insurance to State Farm and saved ourselves $825.
Some save even more. Save hundreds when you combine auto and home insurance with State Farm.
Here's one that I call Combine and Save Polka.
Get to a better state. State Farm. Average household savings based on 2012 National Survey of New
Here we go.
Report savings by switching to State Farm.
1-0 Monarchs after one period of play. Chris Ryan earlier today had the opportunity to talk with last night's hero, the pride of St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador, and that would be Zach O'Brien.
Talk about the emotion was like for you in ending the game after guys had obviously competed for 4 hours and 19 minutes at that point in time.
Felt awesome. Probably the biggest goal I ever scored in my career, to be honest with you. And it was definitely a long game, and the boys they didn't stop skating. Everyone was going, and it definitely felt really good.
That was one of the things that really seemed to jump out, is the fact that, a lot of times when you get into the second overtime or the third overtime, it's a lot of dump-ins, very casual, both teams trying to make sure that they don't make mistakes. And both teams were still going at it and still had a lot to give, it looked like.
Yeah, in overtime you can't sit back. That's when you get in trouble, and that's what we talked about in the room, and all the guys were staying positive mentally, and ended up working out for us.
Take us through the goal and how everything kind of transpired and how you were able to have success in that play.
Actually, someone changed for me, so I hopped out and it ended up being wide open. It was perfect, and Vandy sent over and passed right at my tape, and I just got it on net and squeaked through. I'm not even sure where it went, to be honest with you. I just know it went in.
In a game like that was that long, how important is it to have success in a game in which you've put forth so much energy, and do you think that has any bearing on the series moving forward?
It's definitely a huge win for us. It wouldn't have felt good if we ended up losing that one after playing for so long and using up so much energy. So that felt really good, and we needed to take care of home ice.
That is Zach O'Brien, and Zach with a game winner last night, 4-13 into the third overtime session. I'm told they woke up all of Cowan Heights in St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador, when he scored the game winner for the Monarchs last night. And as late as it was here at the Verizon Wireless Arena, it was an hour and a half later, about 1 o'clock in the morning, when it happened at St. John's at Cowan Heights. So always good to hear from the O'Briens, as they are always tuned in to Monarchs hockey on AHL Live. So great to have them with us, and all of the folks listening from throughout North America right here on our broadcast. The Monarchs Radio Network, presented by Manchester Boston Regional Airport. New Hampshire Orthopedic Center has been the official orthopedic provider for the Manchester Monarchs since 2001. New Hampshire Orthopedic Center provides comprehensive care for athletes and non-athletes at convenient locations throughout southern New Hampshire. You can visit them in Nashua, Manchester, Londonderry, Amherst, and Salem. Learn more at NHOC.com. Fans, don't forget to bring your game-used Monarchs ticket into E&R Cleaners retail stores and receive 20% off your dry cleaning order. You can go for your career goal and get your degree at Southern New Hampshire University. Southern New Hampshire University offers over 100 undergraduate and graduate degree programs, including the Global MBA and programs in sport management and justice studies. Southern New Hampshire University, on campus, on location, and online at snhu.edu. You can come taste why Carrabba's was voted #1 for Italian with their Vino Italiano, featuring wine-enhanced flavors like Chianti glazed salmon and more, starting at $13.90. It's for a limited time only. So come taste the Carrabba's difference tonight. Still plenty of time to do that. It's just a little before 8 o'clock here in the Queen City. Monarchs and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins playing game number 2 of their best-of-7 series. The next 3 games, if necessary, will be played in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania on Saturday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night. All the games scheduled for a 7:05 face-off at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which actually is about 2 miles away from the arena itself. 3 penalties whistled in that opening period. Taylor Chorney went off at the same time as Nick Shore. Chorney went off for roughing as he attacked Shore after Shore gave Matt Murray a little face wash in the crease. But Shore did not respond. Nonetheless, he went off for an unsportsmanlike conduct call at 4:34. And then Vincent Loverty went off for hooking at 18:44. That penalty has 44 seconds remaining when we start the second period here tonight at the Verizon Wireless Arena. We will take a break and then come back with second period action. Brian O'Neill's goal at 9:28 of the opening period gave the Monarchs a 1-0 lead. That's where we stand right now. And we'll have second period action in just a moment or two right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
How would you like to live in an historic opera block? Downtown
this is a
Manchester, living
60.
at its
Okay.
best, just steps from the theater, boutiques, and nightlife. Red Oak Apartment Homes can help you make the right move. Would you like to live in an apartment home that is pet-friendly? An apartment home that has a pool, clubhouse, and a gym? Then let Red Oak Apartment Homes help you make Sunset Ridge your new home. Or would a renovated loft in the historic St. George School be more your style? Discover Red Oak Apartment Homes today and start exploring the largest selection of affordable to luxury apartment homes in the state. Red Oak Apartment Homes has historical, urban to suburban, studios, lofts, 1 to 4 bedrooms, and many apartments with utilities included, starting at only $599 a month. Visit the Red Oak Apartment Homes website at www.redoakproperties.com for a full list of available apartment homes, and soon you'll be saying welcome home with Red Oak.
4 seconds, 4.
www.redoakproperties.com.
We welcome you back to the Verizon Wireless Arena. Ken Cale along with Chris Ryan. Our producer at the flagship is Tim Glenday, doing an outstanding job as usual. Just one other game in the Calder Cup Playoffs tonight, and that is being played in Utica, New York. And after 1 period of play, Utica has a 1-0 lead over Oklahoma City. Monarchs have a 1-0 lead over the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins as we get set for second period action. And Chris Ryan is down below between the benches, as he usually is here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Chris, what do you look for in period number 2?
The Monarchs, from their perspective, they want more of the same, and that was a dominant period, perhaps the most dominant period we've seen, from the Monarchs. And there have been periods they've scored 3 goals in the postseason so far, but I thought overall they didn't really give Wilkes-Barre a sniff. They were dominant in the offensive zone. They were able to turn them over. They were able to create their own opportunities. I thought that was a very impressive first period for the Manchester Monarchs. They got to start this period on the PK. We've noted how good Wilkes-Barre was in regards to the power play, but Monarchs obviously have to kill this off and move along. But again, the more we see, the more I like the Monarchs and how they match up with Wilkes-Barre in this series. And obviously there was some nervousness on my part, at least, when you look at what they did against Syracuse. When you look at their goaltender and his statistics, but overall, after watching now 6 periods of this, over 6 periods, I'm starting to feel more and more comfortable with how the Monarchs match up with Wilkes-Barre.
Second period just about to get underway here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Ebbett and Dowd getting set to take the opening face-off of period number 2. Off the draw, puck is loose, controlled by the Penguins. Penguins on the power play, and they have had a good one in this postseason. 7 for 16 entering tonight's action. Monarchs on the Terminix penalty kill. Sheary drops it off for Tom Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos for Sheary. Sheary with it, right wing side. Sheary in the right wing circle. Sheary throws it off the end wall. Far side kept in by Andrew Ebbett. Ebbett drops it off in the corner. Now Schultz battling for it, sends it around the wall on the near side for Vandergulik, and he's able to scale it the length of the ice.
They got pasted to the boards, though, by Ebbett. Ebbett spent a good chunk of time with the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. That's a good veteran line with Sheary, the lone young player, but very impressive.
Shot from the left wing side by Dumoulin, and a save far post by Berube, and he covers up the loose puck. Now we'll have a face-off in the Monarch zone.
Ebbett just turns around and shoves O'Neill for no apparent reason. Wilkes-Barre is frustrated. They are frustrated at this point. There's no question.
Andrew Ebbett out of the University of Michigan, 224 NHL regular season games, including 24 this year with Pittsburgh, and 19 Stanley Cup games to his credit. Face-off, left wing circle to the right of J.F. Berube. Off the draw, Mersch pokes the puck into the far circle. Wheel plays it ahead to O'Neill. Now tried to kick it out of the zone.
Mersch there again. Cleans up the player, lifts the stick, and gets the puck away. Monarchs in the other direction.
Wheel threw it in front, but no one there to collect. A shot from the right side by Loverty and a save by Murray at the far post. Now Loverty able to keep it in for O'Neill. His shot and a save by Murray. Puck is loose. Monarchs battle to keep it alive, and they do. Loverty at the right point with it. Loverty drops it off right side for Wheel. Now O'Neill along the end wall. He throws it out front, poked away by Murray, but Wheel gets it back. Backhander was deflected wide. Now Megna comes away with it. Megna sends it into the neutral zone. Kostopoulos took a swat at it, but didn't come up with it. Now Loverty with it, far side. Loverty plays it ahead. Now Wheel in front of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton bench on the far side. And Backman took a tumble right in front of Chris Ryan.
Yeah, Farnham taking to the ice.
Now over the line, the Penguins, but offside called against the Penguins. While we have a chance, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
This is New Hampshire's home for sports on ESPN New Hampshire Radio, WGAM Manchester, WGHM Nashua.
Face-off just outside the Manchester line. 18:01 to go here in period number 2. 1-0 Monarchs, both teams at full strength. Crescenzi up front with Horvat and Auger. Off the draw, one by Crescenzi to Forbert. To Gravel, to Crescenzi, has it poked away by D on the forecheck. Now Forbert with it to Horvat. Horvat plays at neutral zone. Crescenzi giving chase, but McNeil catches up to it first. McNeil tied up by Crescenzi. Crescenzi throws it to Horvat. His shot is blocked. Horvat back out to the line to Gravel. Back to Horvat. Plays it along the wall to Crescenzi. Crescenzi tied up along the wall by McNeil. Auger steps in to try and poke it free for the Monarchs. Knocked away by the Penguins. Pouliot able to clear it all the way down into the Monarchs' end of the ice. Giving chase is Farnham. He goes hard into the wall.
He threw himself into the wall.
And now he wants to take Gravel with him, and he gave
skates away. What is going on?
He went into the crease to shove Gravel out long after the play had come to a halt.
He loves it, though. He loves it. He loves it. He loves it when the fans are chanting his name. He loves it. I mean, he threw himself into the wall. Gravel didn't even make a lot of contact with him. He jumped head first into the board.
He did. There was no question about it. And then he went to track down Gravel in the crease and gave him a couple of jolts, and I guess it made him happy. Face-off left wing circle to the right of Berube. 17:15 to go here in the middle period.
Now I'm going to tell you a story, Ken.
Yes.
Bobby Farnham is somehow in the DeMoulis family from the Market Basket fame. And I believe I see the famous RDT.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Upstairs in the
The world's most popular man?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I believe I see him up in the luxury suite here.
Ah.
I'm not sure if he'll draw as much attention as Jonathan Quick drew.
Oh,
last night,
get out of town. You're talking about the most popular man in the world. Shot by Chorney goes wide of Berube.
He was the good Arthur.
That's
for those
right.
Keeping score.
That's right. And many were. Now Miller with it. Sends it to Backman in the corner. Now puck is loose in the corner. Back out to the line. It goes to Rowney. Rowney with it. Rowney, his shot or pass was deflected up into the netting with 16:28 remaining. Wow, I can't spot him, but I'm sure there are many
if
who
you
have.
want, Ken, I could give you a.
Why don't you do that?
I could give you where he is.
No.
But I'm not going to do that.
Okay, don't do that.
Everybody's on their own.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to draw too much attention to. He's just enjoying the game. He's just chilling, and I don't want there to be that sort of gathering around that box once people realize where RDT's at.
Because you know there would be, without question. Now Laverty with it, pokes it ahead on the far side. Kostopoulos with it in the corner. Now on it, Sheary. Sheary with it, bumping with Laverty. Sheary goes down along the wall. Dowd sandwiched between a pair of Penguins.
I'm also not 100% sure it's him.
Oh, okay.
I'm about 90% sure.
Dowd with it. Dowd pokes it ahead in the neutral zone. Now over the line right side, Zach O'Brien's drive save. Now taken by Dowd. Dowd with it, back to the line to Gravel. His shot goes off the end wall. O'Brien with it behind the net. Back out to Forbert. Forbert, high slot, skates it right side. His drive, saved by Murray. Now Dowd battling along the left wing wall, stolen away by Ebbett. Ebbett to Sheary over the line right side. Now Kostopoulos moving in, blocked by Forbert. Nice play by Forbert in the slot.
Kostopoulos let a shot go, Ken, but Berube able to make the save on the near post.
Now shot by Sheary, knocked down in front.
Right into the knee of Kostopoulos.
Now puck is loose. Giving chase, Megna in his own end. Megna up with it. Starts out of his own zone. Circling now in his own end. Takes it back behind his own net. Being chased by Mersch. Drops it off for Chorney. Kept in by the Monarchs. Here's O'Neill taking it behind the net. O'Neill, left wing circle. His pass, however, goes into the neutral zone. Collected by Miller. Colin Miller for Jeff Schultz in his own end. 1-0 Monarchs. Now giving chase, Taylor Chorney in his own end, but beating him to it, O'Neill. Mersch battling with Dumoulin. Puck wound around far side. Loose. Wheel keeps it in at the line. Now up with it, Chorney. Plays it behind the net. Dumoulin has it on the near side in his own zone. Dumoulin trying to get away from Mersch. Dumoulin trying to get away now from Backman. Drops it off near side for Chorney. Chorney's pass deflected, stolen by Colin Miller in the neutral zone. Miller at center ice, slides it across in his own zone for Jeff Schultz. Played ahead to Auger. Auger over the line right side. His drive whistles wide. Rebound comes all the way down into the Monarchs end of the ice, track down by Andrew Bodnerchuk. Bods sends it into the neutral zone. Pouliot leaves it for D. Pouliot goes down, and D goes down. Now with it, McNeil at the red line. Rattles it around the wall on the near side. Puck taken in the neutral zone by Rowney. Plays it back in his own end for Goers. Now Kuhnhackl with it. Kuhnhackl being chased by Shore. Drops it off for Pouliot. Pouliot head to Sundqvist. Over the line left side. Rowney with it. Rowney wraps it around the wall on the near side. On it is Kuhnhackl. Bumped by Bodnerchuk. Now going down is Kuhnhackl along the goal line extended area. Puck is loose near side. Laverty on it. Fans making some noise here. O'Brien with it in the neutral zone. Over the line, right side, long drive. Saved by Murray off the stick of Laverty. And Murray covers up the loose puck with 13:05 to go. Middle period. Monarchs 1, Penguins nothing. We'll take a 60-second break right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Checking air travel options. Check Manchester Boston Regional Airport first. Check MHT for easy access, affordable on MHT.
Morgan Press is a proud supporter of the Manchester Monarchs. Why not let Morgan Press be a proud supporter of your business? For over 30 years, Morgan Press has been delivering quality work at a reasonable price. Morgan Press, for all your commercial offset and digital printing needs. Please visit our website for more information.
8 seconds, 8.
What?
www.morganpress.com. That's www.morganpress.com.
13:05 to go, middle period. Monarchs on top, 1-0 on a goal by Brian O'Neill in that first period. O'Neill in the bottom of the left wing circle, beating Matt Murray, set up by Michael Mersch and Jordan Wheel. 15 shots for the Monarchs and 7 for the Penguins. So now you're all caught up. Face off right circle to the left of Matt Murray. Off the draw. Chorney with it along the wall. Kept alive by Dow. Drops it off for Vandergulik. He goes down in the slot.
Yeah, nobody let him know that Gestapos was there. That's a bad job on the Monarchs' part.
Forbert with it. Forbert sends it far side. Kept in by Dumoulin. He goes down. Kostopoulos with it just inside the line.
Yeah, Mandy had no idea that Gestapos was closing on him there, and he just got leveled.
Now back out it goes to the line to Harrington. Gravel on it far side. Gravel center ice. Vandergulik plays it into the Penguins' end of the ice. Pouliot on it. Pouliot starting out of his own zone for the Penguins. Derek Pouliot in the neutral zone. Backhands it wide of Berube. Leaves it for Miller. Colin Miller with it in his own end. Sends it ahead. Neutral zone for Wheel. Wheel with it. Wheel moving down the slot. Wheel couldn't get much of a shot off. Bothered by Harrington. Loose puck out in front now. Mersch battling for it. Mersch back out to the line to Miller to Schultz left side. Schultz throws it off the end wall. Now taken far side by Megna of the Penguins. Center ice on it. Goers throws it into the left wing corner. Giving chase Megna. Megna with it. Drops it off far side. Giving chase Wilson. Wilson back out it goes to Chorney at the left point. Chorney shot deflected off the near side wall. Puck is loose. Battling forward is Mersch with Goers along the right wing boards. Miller there as well for the Monarchs. Berube leaves the puck in the trapezoid for O'Neill. Far side to Jordan Wheel. Now to Colin Miller. Miller center ice to O'Neill. O'Neill shifting over the line right side. His drive save, long rebound, and it's taken by Sundqvist.
Yeah, his rebound control has not been great. That's surprising.
Now with it far side, Megna. When you hear the boos, you know that Bobby Farnham is on the ice for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. He's battling in the left wing corner with Horvat. Uer always, I should say, also there for the Penguins. Puck is loose in the left wing circle and dug out by Backman. D keeps it alive. Back out to Pouliot for a drive, and it's deflected off the netting. With 10:47 remaining now, Horvat and Uer separated by Joe Ross. 10:47 remaining here in period number 2 as we approach the alleged midway mark of this one. At this point last night, we were far from the midway mark of the game, as it turned out. Face-off will take place in the Manchester end of the ice as both teams make wholesale changes here. 17 shots for the Monarchs, 5 in this period, 7 for the Penguins, 2 in this period. D on the draw, left wing circle with Dowd. Dowd wins it, Forbert with it. Forbert plays it neutral zone, knocked down by Goers. Farnham was bumped in the corner. Goers plays it ahead, Forbert on it. Forbert slides it across ice to Gravel. Now in the neutral zone, Dowd on it. Stolen away by Dumoulin. Former New Hampshire junior Monarch. Long bouncing shot saved by Berube. Forbert starting out of his own end. Plays it far side. Kept in by Dumoulin. Puck is loose near side. Gravel bumped by Uer. Down the corner, Ebbett. Back out to the line, Dumoulin. Dumoulin's drive blocked. Dumoulin tracking it down in his own zone. Dumoulin with it. Dumoulin center ice. Plays it ahead. Sherry's pass, near side for Andrew Ebbett, side of the right wing circle, battling with Mersch, stolen by Dowd.
Battling, but pushed off the puck by Big Mike. Myers has been a monster in this game tonight.
Now Mersch on the puck, right wing side, bumped by Chorney in the Penguin zone. Wheel with it now, just inside the line. Back to Loverty. His drive knocked down by Murray. Loose puck cleared to the wall by the Penguins.
Great traffic in front, and guess who was there? Big Mike.
Who else? Now Wheel with it. Wheel back out to Bodnerchuk. His drive. And I think that got through to Murray.
Actually blocked out front.
Okay. Now the puck cleared off the end wall by the Penguins. 9:15 to go, second period. O'Neill bumped in the corner. O'Neill now to Bodnerchuk. Bods with it. Center ice to Wheel. Wheel to Bodnerchuk. Chips it ahead off the end wall. Chorney sends it behind his own net. Under 9 minutes to play now in period number 2. Rowney over the line. Skates at left side on the backhand stop side of the left wing circle. Rowney goes down. Far side, puck is loose. In the circle. Auger there battling along the wall with Rowney. Miller is there poking at it. Shore there as well. Kuhnhackl for the Penguins, and skating away with the puck is Schultz. Jeff drops it off for Miller, wraps it around the wall on the near side. Schultz gets it back in the corner, chips it high in the air, and it goes out of play. And that, I think, will be a delay of game call on Jeff Schultz. 8:27 to go here in period number 2. When we come back, Penguins will be on the power play. 1-0 Monarchs on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Manchester Subaru is New England's largest volume Subaru dealer. Come check out the all-new Subaru 2015 Outback, starting at $269 per month. Don't forget about the family favorite vehicle, the Forester, getting 32 highway miles per gallon. If pricing is your goal, Manchester Subaru will never put you in the penalty box. Call them today at 888-223-7455 or visit them on the web at manchestersubaru.com. Test drive a Subaru and receive 2 tickets to any Manchester Monarchs home game. Doctors Richard and Jeffrey Vashon of Vashon Dental are members of the dental team for your Monarchs. Serving Manchester and surrounding towns like Bedford, Hooks, Goffstown, and Auburn, Vashon Dental offers a wide range of services for your family. If you require dental treatment, want a brighter smile, or need tooth replacement, they can help. Staff members are experienced with the current techniques and technology to improve your smile easily and comfortably. Call 603-627-2092 to schedule an appointment or visit them online at vashondental.com, where kings are crowned.
So the Penguins on the power play with 8:27 to go in period number 2, trailing the Monarchs 1-0. Penguins 0 for 1 with the man advantage tonight, meaning the Monarchs 1 for 1 on the Terminix penalty kill, but this is a dangerous power play unit. Schultz in the box for delay of game. Ebbett in his own end sends it back. Dumoulin drops it off, center ice. On it, Sheary. Sheary over the line for Kostopoulos. TK's pass off the far wall for Wilson. Wilson throws it in front. Kostopoulos, great save by Berube on TK. Point blank shot by Kostopoulos down low, and Berube made a terrific save.
He hasn't seen a lot of the puck tonight. That was only his 9th save of the night. He hasn't felt a lot of the puck tonight. As JF there, he really read that play well. Great push off, great reaction. Right understanding what was going to happen as he went side to side and made a fabulous stop on TK. The puck came from along the wall, cross ice, and a tremendous save. Puck got a little bit of lift on it, but JF's pad was there to rob TK.
Dumoulin a drive. That's blocked. Crescenzi battling for it. Crescenzi sends it neutral zone. Tracked down by Dumoulin. Drops it off in his own end for Wilson. Minute 23 remaining on the delay of game penalty to Jeff Schultz. Neutral zone on it. Ebbett. Over the line, Wilson right side. Wilson's pass knocked down by O'Brien. O'Brien can't come up with it. Sheary throws it in front. Ebbett drops it off. Left wing circle shot and a score by, oh, they didn't put the light on. Sheary's shot from the left wing circle.
It hit the post, Ken. It came out and it hit the back of JF Berube. It looked like it was along the goal line. Obviously very difficult for me from this angle to tell whether it was in or not.
I think it was, to tell you the truth. I don't want to speak too loudly.
You have a much better angle than I do.
I think, unfortunately, it was. From my perspective, I didn't see the light go on, but they are reviewing it with 1:05 remaining on the power play. I would have to say this is going to be a goal. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm, 100% incorrect here.
Yeah, you had a really good angle on it.
Yeah, well.
The question, though, is whether or not the official has a good angle on it as well. I mean,
Very true.
you don't have a camera in that corner. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to get a good look at this. And the ruling on the ice was no goal. Correct? It seemed like the ruling on the ice was we don't know.
They never waved it off. They didn't point.
Oh,
it's a goal.
It's a goal. Wow.
Now Sheary will get the equalizer at 12:29 on the power play. Sheary let the shot go from the left wing circle. You can't put this team on the power play. That's a risky proposition. Maybe Kostopoulos got the last piece of that.
I can't tell from that.
No, it's impossible to tell from that replay. That's impossible to tell from the replay.
It looks like it's sitting on the line.
Yeah, I honestly, I can't dispute it because I honestly thought it was just over the line. Just barely, but enough from this angle. They're continuing to talk with the off-ice officials, are the on-ice officials. The red light never went on.
Tommy, red light Grant.
TK gets the goal.
Behind that net.
Tom Kostopoulos getting the goal at 12:28 of the period. Power play goal with Schultz in the penalty box for the delay of game. Now Auger, right wing circle moving in. Auger in front, shot, score! What a move by Auger! My goodness gracious. He beat a couple of pens in front, went in on Murray and beat him clean. And right away the Monarchs take the 2-1 lead.
Awesome job right there by Justin Auger as the Monarchs. We talked about it with Vinny Laverty. The Monarchs respond well. And when they give them a goal, they're going to come out and they're going to compete a lot harder than they were on that previous shift, regardless of how hard they did compete on that shift. And right there, Justin Auger was not going to be denied. Wilkes-Barre was caught up high, and nobody took the puck. That's the first and foremost thing. You look at the replay here, not a single person stepped up to the puck carrier. I don't know if you'd want to step up to Justin Auger when he was coming at you, but that's your job, and nobody did it.
What a great effort by Auger. Now over the line, here comes Kuhnhackl. Throws it in front, shot, score, Uer.
That time the Monarchs got caught. There's nobody on that far post. Two players, both defensemen, came to the puck carrier, and there are actually two Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins on the far side. So after only seeing one goal in the for a long period of time here in this contest, we've had three in the span of seconds.
First one was scored at 12:29, second one at 12:38, and this one at 12:52. So we've had 3 goals in 23 seconds. 3 goals in 23 seconds here, and we're tied at 2 with 7:08 to go in the second period. Wow. Miller with it, drops it off for Schultz. Schultz to Mersch. Mersch bumped by Goers. Up with it, Wheel, stolen away. Now the Monarchs get it back. O'Neill with it. Chips it ahead. Giving chase. Goers sends it off the far wall. Planned away. Sent deep behind the net. Berube leaves it there for Miller. Wraps it around the wall. Goers keeps it alive. His drive knocked down. Mersch sends it ahead to Wheel. Wheel to O'Neill. A drive that's deflected wide. Now on it. Over the line, Ebbett. Andrew Ebbett sends it into the trapezoid. On it is Kempe. Adrian Kempe with it for the Monarchs. Head to shore in the neutral zone. Goes off the stick of O'Neill, off the end wall, and the Penguins' end of the ice. Wrapped around the wall and taken by the Penguins' neutral zone. Played ahead by Bobby Farnham. Farnham tracks it down. His shot goes behind the net. On it is Sundqvist. Going down side of the circle was D. Puck free. Chorney giving chase. And up with it, Dumoulin. Dumoulin in his own end. We're tied at 2. Now on it is Bodnarchuk. Slides it across ice to Loverty. Back to Bods. Bods, skips over the stick of Shore. If didn't, he might have gone in all alone. Shore throws it out in front. And
Great
shot
save.
and a save by Murray off wheel. Now Forbert with it. Forbert a drive. Save. Loose puck out in front. Skated away by D.
Not just the goals being scored, but the
Well,
opportunities, Ken. There were not a lot of opportunities at all. Really grade A opportunities, particularly for Wilkes-Barre, through the first 32 minutes of this game. Now all of a sudden it has opened up.
Puck skipped over the stick of Berube. Uer keeps it alive. Back out to the line it goes. One-timer Pouliot deflected off the end wall. Vandergulik battling for it for the Monarchs. Now puck poked to the near side wall. Vandergulik on it. Now Dowd to Forbert. Forbert sends it behind the net to Gravel in his own zone. Now with it center ice, Vandergulik. Vandergulik pokes it ahead behind the net. Now on it near side, Pouliot. Pouliot plays it behind the cage. McNeil can't come up with it. Crescenzi pinches in and keeps it alive along the right wing wall. Up with it, Pouliot. Sends it neutral zone, knocked down by Schultz. Slides it across to Colin Miller. Crescenzi back in his own end to Miller. 2-2 your score. Puck comes deep in the Penguins' end of the ice. This will not be icing. Goers on it. Goers sends it far side. Horvat has it stolen away. D battling with the puck. Drops it off for Goers. Harrington sends it ahead. Kept alive by Auger along the left wing wall. Passed by Horvat. Deflects in on the goaltender Murray. And he ties it up with 3:47 to go in period number 2. Now 3 goals within 23 seconds. Auger getting his first of the postseason. Crescenzi with the lone assist. That was on the Monarchs goal that made it 2-1 at 12:38. Then at 12:52, Uer set up by Kuhnhackl tied it up quickly. Face off left circle to the right of Matt Murray. 20 shots for the Monarchs, 11 for the Penguins. Off the draw. Bodnarchuk trying to keep it alive, but can't do it in the Penguin zone. Now we get a stoppage in play with 3:42 to go in the second period. Monarchs Radio Network presented by Manchester Boston Regional Airport. Face off left circle
There's
to
not
the
a lot
right.
of difference between the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins uniform and the Pittsburgh Penguins,
No.
but you can notice one down here on the ice. Their Penguin is much angrier than the Pittsburgh Penguins Penguin. I don't know who made that decision. but
Bobby Farnham, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he posed. He also is much more muscular. Like he's a ripped Penguin.
Puck comes deep into the Monarchs' end of the ice. Loverty is on it, and icing called against the Penguins. Will face it off in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton zone.
He wears red gloves. He has a big upper body. Biceps are enormous on this guy, and he looks very angry. The other Penguins he's just kind of chill. Like he's just going to play the game. This Penguin, this is the Bobby Farnham Penguin.
Face off left circle to the right of goaltender Matt Murray. 2-2 your score. 3:23 remaining here in the middle period. Monarchs with it. O'Neill has it, side of the circle, back out to Miller, pulls the trigger, save, loose puck out in front.
Oh, it's
cleared away.
right in the crease before it was cleared away by Evatt.
Shot from the right wing side, saved by Murray. Now Wheel to Mersch. Brian O'Neill with it, side of the right wing circle. O'Neill with it now just inside the line, right side. Throws it to Wheel, his shot, score! Jordan Wheel set up by Brian O'Neill. And now Mersch battling a Penguin in the left wing circle. Here they go. Now Wheel is holding off Sherry.
I have no idea what happened. I was looking at the scoreboard waiting for the replay to come on.
No, I don't either, but almost as soon as that goal was scored, Kostopoulos and Mersch went at it in the left wing circle, but the goal by Jordan Wheel, set up beautifully by Brian O'Neill at 17:03, puts the Monarchs ahead once again, 3-2.
How good is Jordan Wheel? I mean, that shot was insane. He's goal line extended.
Yeah.
He has nowhere to shoot.
Not a good angle.
And he puts the puck up high and roofs it. First, O'Neill does his thing as he twirls up top. What? It's insane. How does he find the net on that shot? Goal line extended, no angle. Wow.
Terrific shot by Jordan Wheel.
You still don't see what happens after the play as Wheel and Miller come together to celebrate, and then Kostopoulos is just throwing punches. Schultz is in there. Not quite sure what happened, but Kostopoulos is going to the penalty box for 2.
Good. Wheel getting his 6th of the postseason from O'Neill and Mersch at 17:03 of the second stanza. 2:57 remaining in the middle period. Between periods 2 and 3, Chris Ryan will be chatting with Monarchs assistant coach Chris Height. And then a pre-recorded interview that Chris did earlier today with Monarchs all-star defenseman Colin Miller. So lots of things to look forward to.
Wheels headed off too. This is the second time this game that there has been a completely bogus Monarch call. I mean, first it was Shore, now it's Wheel. This is ridiculous. It is flat out ridiculous. So Kostopoulos starts the whole thing. He's throwing punches around like crazy. The Monarchs just step up, and for some reason, Jordan Wheel is in the penalty box, just like before. Now with another Penguin appears to be headed in. So
that's a good sign.
Oh, calm down. I will.
Yeah, but there's no
turn down my outrage.
Either way, there's no reason for Wheel to be in the box.
It really isn't.
No.
I mean, and you have, obviously one of the more significant players on the Monarchs in the box without his services for 2 minutes. At least their Monarchs will have manpower here, unlike the previous instance where Shore had to go to the penalty box after essentially just being, assaulted.
Monarchs on the power play for the first time tonight. Backman over the line, right side. Backman drops it off, stolen by Kuhnhackl. He clears it the length of the ice. Stop bottom of the circle by Berube. Now leaves it for Loverty. He goes down along the end wall with Rowney. Puck is loose in the corner. Bodnarchuk collects behind his own net. Bodnarchuk starting out of his own zone for the Monarchs on the power play. Now puck collected by Harrington, and Harrington sends it all the way down the end to the other end of the ice. Berube has to make a stop, and now we have another scuffle breaking out.
Certainly have the hate factor in this series right now.
Monarchs nearly doubling the Penguins' shot output, 23-12. 3-2 Monarchs, 2:14 to go, second period. Kostopoulos in the box. He's there along with the Sundqvist. I did not hear the announcement on the penalties, if in fact they've made one. Dowd and Ebbett on the draw, left circle to the right of Berube. Ebbett with it, drops it back into the neutral zone. Penguins send the puck in behind the net. Berube leaves it for Colin Miller. Miller starting out of his own end for the Monarchs, who lead at 3-2. Center ice O'Neill, puck knocked away by the Penguins again, all the way down length of the ice, goal line extended. Berube leaves it for Miller. Colin Miller. Pass neutral zone off the stick of O'Neill and up onto the Monarchs bench. 48 seconds remaining on the Monarchs power play. Monarchs on top 3-2 in this one. Face off in the neutral zone, center circle. 1:45 to go in the period. Monarchs on top by a score of 3-2. Kostopoulos in the penalty box for the Penguins. Wheel in the box, both getting roughing penalties. I don't know why there's.
Kostopoulos got an extra?
I was just looking, and it didn't indicate that or misconduct or anything, but it had to be something else, or else they wouldn't have Sundqvist in the box. Now the puck cleared down deep in the Monarchs' end of the ice. Miller with it in the trapezoid. Colin Miller starting out of his own zone for the Monarchs. Center ice to Schultz. Now over the line it goes to O'Neill, to Mersch off his stick. Mersch battling for it. Now puck taken by Harrington. Harrington bumped by Mersch in the corner. Penalty has expired. Sundqvist out of the box. So it's got to be something else on Kostopoulos. But it was not listed. Here's Backman, center ice. Backman chips it ahead. Off the end wall. Goers tracks it down for the Penguins. Now back out to the line. Gravel keeps it in. To Backman, plays it right side. Shot by Dowd is blocked. Now Forbert keeps it in at the left point. Behind the net to Zach O'Brien. O'Brien with it. In the trapezoid on the backhand. Now to Dowd. Dowd. High slot. Gravel. Left side Forbert. Forbert sends it along the end wall for O'Brien. Now on it is Gravel. His drive goes wide. Backhander by O'Brien. A save near post by the goaltender Matt Murray. And he ties it up with 7.3 seconds to go in period number 2.
Again, a great nip and tuck hockey game. Monarchs dominant in the first, but only able to tally once in that first period of play. And this second period has just been back and forth. And both teams scoring twice, and both teams combining for 3 goals in the span of 29 seconds after the previous 32 minutes of the game. And only 1 goal was scored.
Solved the mystery. He's out. Kostopoulos was out for both a cross-check and a roughing call. So there you have it. Wheel was just off for roughing, which created the power play for the Monarchs, which is now over. Face off left circle to the right of Matt Murray. Off the draw, Pouliot on it. Plays it neutral zone, knocked down by Bodnarchuk to Wheel. And the horn sounds, ending period number 2 here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. We had 4 goals in the first period last night. We had 4 goals in the second period tonight here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. And we stand at the same point tonight as we did last night. Monarchs leading 3-2 after the second period. Chris Ryan standing by down below, and momentarily Chris will be chatting with Chris Height, Manchester Monarchs assistant coach. 3-2 Monarchs after 40 minutes of hockey on this hot Thursday night in the Queen City. Chris Ryan, we send things down to you.
Thank you very much, Ken. Joined by Monarchs assistant coach Chris Height, up 3-2 after 2 periods of play. And hockey is an amazing game. 32 minutes, get 1 goal, and then in a span of 29 seconds, the teams combined for 3 goals going back and forth. Seems like this opened up a little bit in terms of the scoring opportunities and the skating in the second.
Well, there's where both opportunity or all 3 goals opportunities for the teams put it in net, and they did. And that's playoff hockey. Shift to shift. Those shift after goals are very important, and you want to keep that momentum. And Auger goal was a big goal. They scored one back, and then Oni made a great play to Wheeler there, and we put it in. So again, momentum. We've got to keep going here. We have 20 minutes to win the game.
How much do you encourage Auger to do what he did in that instance, the net drive to get to the net and kind of create that chaos?
Well, you know what? You have to get to the net. I mean, that's where the goals are scored. You have to pay the price. You got to get in inside the dots there and make a difference. And Justin's doing a real good job of that tonight.
That wheel goal was incredible. Again, he's able to find a spot when it doesn't look like there is a spot. I mean, game in, game out, his ability it shines night in after night. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's a very skilled player. There's no doubt. There's things, I don't think there's any player in this league that can do the things that he does, and it's a big goal for us.
All right, as always, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Marshall's coach Chris Height joining us after the second period of play. Monarchs leading 3-2. We send it back up to you, Ken.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And the Monarchs heading to the locker room up by a goal, as Chris just mentioned. 4 goals scored in that second period, 2 for each team. 3-2 Monarchs. Will be back after these words. We'll take a 2-minute break on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Stan, is that you? I thought you retired 10 years ago. Yeah, I did, but I really missed those dental benefits, so I'm back. Ain't retirement grand? You should check out the new individual and family plans from Delta Dental. Aren't those private plans expensive? Not with Delta Dental. You get the same dependable benefits offered by employer plans and at competitive rates, plus up to 100% coverage for exams, screenings, and x-rays. And the dentist you have, you compete, because Delta Dental has the largest dental networks in the nation. Well, that sounds amazing. So what's the catch? No catch. Enrolling is easy. You can do it online at any time at DeltaDentalCoversMe.com. What's that website again?
That's DeltaDentalCoversMe.com.
Thanks. Retirement, here I come.
Northeast Delta Dental, the region's most experienced dental benefits company. Plans available in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
Every day, kids playing sports suffer concussions. If a child isn't diagnosed and returns to play, their brain is vulnerable and an impact of minimal force can cause irreversible damage. It's called second impact syndrome, and it can result in attention deficit disorder, depression, and sometimes death. How can we prevent it? Coaches need to assess their players and prevent them from playing if they aren't reacting normally. We need to do baseline testing before kids participate. Then test the kids we suspect have had a concussion. If the results are different, we need to stop all activity and see a medical professional.
Hi, I'm Andrew Bodnarchuk, defenseman for the Manchester Monarchs. I recently suffered a concussion in a game. Resting, completely stopping all physical activity was crucial to my recovery. Because I did, I was able to get back on the ice. No matter what your age is, when it comes to a concussion, safety first.
10 seconds.
All righty.
A message from the New Hampshire Orthopedic Center and the Manchester Monarchs.
Welcome back. We are between periods 2 and 3 at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs leading the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins 3-2 in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series. Monarchs won last night in triple overtime by a final of 4-3 on Zach O'Brien's goal at the 4:13 mark of the third overtime session. Tonight, the Monarchs took a 1-0 lead in the opening period. Brian O'Neill picking up his 5th of the postseason. He was set up by Michael Mersch and Jordan Wheel, and that was the lone tally of the opening period. Monarchs outshooting the Penguins in the opening 20 minutes by a margin of 12-5. Second period was scoreless until the 12:29 mark of the period, and that is when the Penguins tied it up. Tom Kostopoulos picking up his second goal of the postseason. He was set up by Wilson at 12:29, and that was a power play goal for the Penguins, and it tied the game at 1 apiece. That goal coming at 12:29. 9 seconds later, some great moves and a great individual effort by Justin Auger down low put the Monarchs back on top, 2-1 at 12:38. Auger, his first of the postseason, set up by Andrew Crescenzi. That was an even strength goal, 2-1 Monarchs at 12:38. Then at 12:52, the Penguins tied it up as Uwer scored his second of the postseason, set up by Kuhnhackl, and the game tied at 2 apiece. Then the Monarchs retook the lead at 3-2 on an impossible angled shot, or so it seemed anyway, but it wasn't impossible for Jordan Wheel, who shot it from in the area of the goal line, extended side of the net, and roofed it by the goaltender Matt Murray for Jordan Wheel's 6th goal of the season, set up by Brian O'Neill and Michael Mersch, an even strength goal at 17:03. 3-2 Monarchs, and that is where we stand right now. 3-2 Monarchs after 2 periods of play. Shots in that period for the Monarchs 12, a 2-period total of 24, and for the Penguins 7, and a 2-period total of 12. So the Monarchs with the same lead they had after 2 periods last night at 3-2. Meanwhile, in Utica, New York, Game 1 of the Western semifinal between Utica and Oklahoma City. After 2 periods of play, Oklahoma City and Utica are tied up at 1 apiece. Check the NHL scoreboard for you. And Montreal pounding Tampa Bay tonight. Montreal looking to stay alive in that series. Montreal 5, Tampa Bay 1, late second period. Tampa Bay leading that series 3 games to none. And at 9:30 tonight in Minnesota, it'll be the Wild and the Blackhawks. Blackhawks looking to eliminate the Wild tonight as Chicago leads that series 3 games to none. Coming up, an interview Chris Ryan did earlier today with Monarchs All-Star defenseman Colin Miller. We'll have it for you in 2 minutes right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Hi, it's Bruce from Shipyard, here to introduce another new beer.
How you doing?
Nice to see you. Ginger beer evolved into ginger bread. We reformulated the beer and dramatically changed the spice profile. The next addition to the Pumpkin Head family, Gingerbread Head, was born.
Oh, yeah?
A brown ale with molasses and brown sugar, accented by clove, ginger, and cinnamon. Gingerbread Head is complex and spicy, and after 1 sip, you can't help but taste gingerbread cookies. You can't miss the Gingerbread Man to sit in with your favorite food. Gingerbread Head is available to air travel options. Check Manchester Boston Regional Airport first. Check MHD for easy access, portable on-site parking, free Wi-Fi, and access to the Citrix Bank Business Center. Check MHD for non-stop jet service to Atlanta, all Washington, Charlotte, Chicago, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, Tampa, Washington, Nashville, and more. The next time your plans call for air travel, remember to check Manchester Boston Regional Airport first.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Sounds amazing. So what's the catch? No catch.
DeltaDentalCoversMe.com.
12 seconds, 12.
All right, Tim. Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena Monarchs Radio Network, presented by Manchester Boston Regional Airport. Monarchs leading the Penguins 3-2 after 2 periods, and earlier today, Chris Ryan had the chance to speak with Monarchs All-Star defenseman Colin Miller.
How much do you think you were able to kind of set the tone through the course of the game, getting the puck in the net, creating some opportunities, particularly secondary, third opportunities for you guys really in the first period and really throughout the contest?
Yeah, I know. I think the first round, I think I was getting a lot of pucks blocked in that, and I think I was just trying to focus on getting it through and letting the forwards get to it because you don't have as much time in playoffs, so that's what I was trying to focus on.
When you look at the success you guys had in this game in a triple overtime contest, how important is it to win a game like that, considering obviously how much energy you guys put in?
Yeah, it's definitely a grind. You know, those kind of things can be pivotal points in a series, but then again, it's only one game, so we got to rest up here and get ready for tomorrow.
In terms of the nerves in a game like that, how much do you think the series against Portland, where you faced so many different types of situations, not in overtime, but just about every single situation you could face in the playoffs, how much do you think that helped you in a situation like a game one here in multiple overtimes where it's just, and to some extent it seemed like it wasn't as nerve-wracking as, say, the game 5?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, I think when those games go really late like that, you're just kind of playing on instinct and just kind of trying to make a play, and then get off and just kind of keep rolling it over, and then hope for a bounce, and that's what happened for us.
What type of a feel did you get for the series, perhaps, off of game 1 and what you guys were able to do, success you're able to have? I thought it was important that you were able to get to Murray in the game, get 4 goals against him, and looking at his numbers, obviously it's pretty daunting what he's done this year. Do you think the success that you had in this game with using the D, the wing speed, and what you're able to do in front of the net mouth, whether it's theirs or yours, do you think that bodes well for you guys in this series?
Yeah, I think they're a very similar team to us. They got quick forwards, they got really solid defensemen, and they got a great goalie. So I think just like you said, getting in the front of the net's going to be huge this series. Trying to block out the lanes so Murray can't see. But obviously with the game going so long tonight, I think it's going to be a really close series the whole time.
That is Monarchs All-Star defenseman Colin Miller with Chris Ryan just before tonight's game here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. So some scoring changes have been made on those goals that were scored in rapid-fire order in the second period. They've taken the goal away from Tom Kostopoulos, and they have awarded that goal to Connor Sheary, his 4th of the postseason, from Ebbett and Wilson at 12:28. And Forbert gets an assist along with Crescenzi on the Auger goal, and they have added an assist to McNeil on the goal by Uher that tied it up for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. That is before Jordan Wheel scored the goal to put the Monarchs up by a margin of 3-2 after 2 periods of play here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Kim Mueller is back in the house. Great to see Kim, and we certainly miss Kim, who was with the Monarchs for a long, long time and meant a lot to this organization. Good to see her back in the building. And we are between periods 2 and 3 at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs on top by a score of 3-2. We will take a break and have more coming up after these words on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network. Can I hold on?
Of thousands of veterans get the care and benefits they've earned, and their service is free. If you need help with a claim or just navigating the system,
5 seconds.
Contact us at pva.org.
All right, Tim. Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena. Ken Cale here along with Chris Ryan. Tim Glenday is our flagship producer tonight on our flagship station, ESPN New Hampshire, 1250 AM and 900 AM. And Chris Ryan down below getting ready for his duties here in period number 3 this evening, as the Monarchs will try to protect and build on this 1-goal lead entering the third period here this evening. Don't forget, game number 3 will be at the Mohegan Sun Arena. That is coming up on Saturday night in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And the Monarchs and the Penguins will be right back again on ESPN New Hampshire, our flagship station. And then on Monday and Tuesday nights from Wilkes-Barre, Tuesday night, of course, if necessary, the games will be on WSMN, AM 1590, the mighty 1590 WSMN and WSMNradio.com. Hope you can join us throughout the playoffs. If you can't make it here, love to have you for our next contest here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Chris Ryan standing by. And Chris, what do you foresee here for period number 3?
It's been a difficult game to predict. I mean, early on, both teams started out strong. The hitting was intense. The game, started to level off a bit. The Monarchs were dominant through the first period of play. We had some good sustained pressure from both teams, and then some speed, which created scoring opportunities. And the Monarchs lead this game 3-2, but that second period, very even, and the score indicative of that, with both teams getting 2 tallies apiece.
We are just about set for third period action. J.F. Berube defending the goal. Off to our left, off to our right is Matt Murray. Both teams at full strength to start period number 3. Tom Kostopoulos still with a little bit of time to spend in the penalty box. Off the draw, puck controlled by Loverty in his own zone. Slides it across ice to Bodnarchuk. Puck comes deep into the Penguins' end of the ice, and that is going to be icing against the Monarchs. We've played 10 seconds of period number 3. Faceoff will come back down into the Monarch zone. Faceoff right circle to the left of J.F. Berube. 1-goal margin for the Monarchs at 3-2. Faceoff right circle. Ebbett will take the draw against Wheel. What a miraculous goal that was by Jordan Wheel to put the Monarchs on top. 3-2. Puck kept in at the line. Long drive goes wide of JF. Playing away in the Manchester zone off to our left as they battle along the left wing wall in the Monarchs' end of the ice. Dug out by Bodnarchuk. Sends it behind the net for Wheel. Wheel starting out of the zone. Sends it center ice to Mersch, who plays it deep in the Penguins' end. On it, Harrington, bumped by O'Neill. Far side on it is Goers. Goers sends it all the way down into the Monarch zone, tracked down by Colin Miller. Opening minute of play here in period number 3, 3-2 Monarchs. Miller sends it behind the net, far side, wrapped around the wall by McNeil to Uer. Uer, center ice, drops it off over the line. Rowney, his drive saved by Berube. JF saw that one all the way. Puck loose along the wall. Back out to the line. It goes to Pouliot. High slot. Pouliot, his drive whistles wide of Berube. Now center ice. On it, Kempe. Kempe over the line. Kempe, a drive saved by Murray.
Very patient, Kempe, and put it to the right pad of the netminder. Murray did a good job on that one.
Land away. Puck loose, Monarchs battling to keep it alive, but up with it is McNeil. Drops it off far side for Pouliot. Pouliot for McNeil. McNeil in the neutral zone. McNeil sweeps it into the Monarchs' end of the ice. Stopped behind the net by Berube. Leaves it for Miller, broken up by the Penguins. Back out it goes. Dumoulin throws it off the end wall. Rebound hits the back of the net. Puck loose along the left wing wall. Farnham battling to keep it alive. Now Dowd on it for the Monarchs. Throws it in front now. It was not kept in at the line by Chorney. Sends it off the end wall. And now taken by Gravel. Neutral zone. On it, Zach O'Brien. O'Brien for Dowd. Dowd sweeps it around the wall. Puck is loose.
I think third period here, too, Ken, is where we'll really start to see some of the attrition setting in from last night's game.
Yeah, no question. Now back out to Forbert for a drive, and that grazed the side of the net.
Very important to keep the shift short and play a simple game. Don't turn the puck over.
Shot by Forbert, saved by Murray as Forbert let it go from inside the line. Puck loose along the left wing boards in the Penguins' end of the ice. Megna digs it free. Forbert tried to keep it in, couldn't do it. And on it now is Sundqvist over the line. His shot deflected out of play with 17-12 remaining.
Third again, period. Another big-time celebrity crowd here at the Verizon Wireless Arena for this game number 2. Many of the individuals who we had here last night have returned, mostly because they work for the various teams, and they're kind of required to do so. But Mark Recchi to my left, 500-goal scorer. To your left, Rob Blake, Hockey Hall of Famer. Jonathan Quick, of course, he is married to Sean Backman's sister, and they go way back.
Way back.
Way back to Connecticut. Conn Smythe winner. And Arthur T.
Quick shot, and that almost went in. Wow.
Through JF, but it went wide of the net. It went through him. He lost his stick, but it went wide.
Woo.
As TK nearly had another one.
Wow. Penguins came within inches of tying this one up. 16:54, icing called against the Monarchs. It is a celebrity drenched crowd.
And RDT, he's a billionaire. We hang around millionaires all the time, Ken, so it's no big deal.
No.
But we haven't hung out with RDT, so I don't know what it's like to hang out with. I don't think I've ever. I may have met a billionaire or two, but I've never hung out with a billionaire. I'm just saying.
Nor have I. No, I have not either. Now with it, taking it behind the net was Sheary. Pass goes into the neutral zone, however. Harrington collects, drops it off now. Sheary with it, plays it ahead. Knocked away. Auger has it in front of his own bench. Auger sends it in behind the net. Puck is loose. Harrington on it. Sends it behind the net to Goers. Wraps it around the wall to Sheary. Kept in by Schultz. Schultz sends it along the end wall for Shore. 3-2 Monarchs. 16:25 to go, third period.
Remember that Simpsons episode when Mr. Burns got thrown out of the Billionaires Club?
I don't. I don't.
I imagine it's something like that.
Now Miller with it to Schultz. Schultz plays it ahead to Auger. Auger sends it off the far wall right in front of the Monarchs bench. Shifting over the line for the Monarchs. O'Brien, his shot goes wide of Murray. Kept alive by the Monarchs. Miller at the line. Miller's shot blocked. Miller gets it back. Takes it left side. Miller's shot saved by Murray, and he hangs on. With 15:53 to go in the third period while we have a chance. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network. Face-off left circle to the right of Matt Murray. Crescenzi will take the draw against Jean-Sebastien D, spelled D-E-A. Off the draw, Crescenzi wins it. One-timer Gravel is blocked out of play into the netting. So we'll do it again.
Barnum getting away with that one.
And that's the reason RDT is here tonight, to see his relative play from North Andover, Mass. Crescenzi and D on the draw once again. Barnum went to Brown University, now goes to Forbert for a drive and a glove save by Murray, and he hangs on. Face-off will again come in the Penguin zone. 15:45 to go in period number 3. Teams will get a break tomorrow, although the Monarchs will be busing to Wilkes-Barre. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of sound sleep on the bus tomorrow. I have that feeling.
You won't know.
You're right about that. Well, I'm hoping to be one of those sound sleepers.
You're going to be the first one out. They could be having a rave. You wouldn't know.
Now moving in, backhander save, Berube. Now planned away, kept alive by the Penguins. Poked away by Horvat, deep into the Penguins' end of the ice. Megna on it, sends it behind the net. Wrapped around the wall, far side, kept in by Wheel, back out to Bodnarchuk, a drive, save, rebounds!
Right there.
Ooh, and we're going to
cross-check. Who's this going to be on?
No idea. 15:08 remaining here in the third period. This one is going to go.
Wilkes-Barre looked like they, unless Puliak got his stick on the puck, it looked like the puck was loose when the whistle was blown in that particular instance. But Auger, again, big body out front of the net, frustrating Wilkes-Barre. He draws the penalty out front. Monarchs had some depth there with Horvat lined up in the slot area. And in front of the net, Auger, a chance here for the Monarchs, a big chance to extend the lead.
Wheel on the draw, left circle to the right of the goaltender, Matt Murray. Monarchs on the power play, second time tonight. Miller with it. Miller right side, sends it behind the net to Mersch, stolen away. Mersch gets it back off the stick of Chorney. Now puck loose out in front. Monarchs battling to keep it alive. Good play by Miller as he kept it alive along the right wing wall. Puck is loose in the right wing corner. O'Neill with it, shovels it back out to Murray at the right point. Now O'Neill with it, side of the circle. Rowney battling for it, back out it goes to Miller, pulls the trigger, save, loose puck in front, shot by Wheel and a score! Jordan Wheel! Michael Mersch right there as well, getting the puck to Wheel. Wheel buries it, power play goal, 4-2 Monarchs. French fries for everybody.
Again, Michael Mersch getting it done, his second assist of the night. That line, now 3 goals for the Manchester Monarchs as well. Just an incredible job by Mersch as he gets the puck along to Wheel, and Wheel, that time, it's the yawning cage to put it into, but able to bury the puck as the Monarchs extend the lead 4-2, get that power play goal. Specialty teams obviously so important in the playoffs, and in that instance, it starts with Miller, and able to find the puck at his feet was Mersch. He gets it on the backhand onto Wheel, who buries it. But again, Mersch camped out front, and he seems so much more confident in getting the puck from his skate to the stick and then making a good play with it hands-wise. Michael Mersch is beyond NHL ready.
Puck goes out of play on the far side. The official wheel, his 7th from Mersch and Miller at 5:24 on the power play. So Jordan Wheel piling up another big night for the Manchester Monarchs with the last 2 Monarchs goals, and he assisted on the first goal by Brian O'Neill. Face off right circle to the left of goaltender J.F. Berube. 14:15 to go in the third period. Now Ebbett battling for it in the corner with Loverty. And tied up along the right wing wall. Now Auger battles for the puck along the right wing boards. Shore is there as well for the Monarchs. Puck squirts free right in front of the Monarchs bench at center ice. Taken by the Penguins. Now puck loose in front of the Penguins bench. Kostopoulos with a hit down there on Backman. As they exchange some pleasantries down there right in front of Chris Ryan. Now with it, Goers in his own zone. Drops it off for Harrington. Harrington shovels it ahead to Sheary, back to Goers. Now with it, Megna over the line, but offside against the Penguins. 13:27 to go in the third. Monarchs 4, Penguins 2. We'll take a 60-second break here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
I'm so sorry, really. It's not usually like this, but with Verizon XLTE, he can stream his hockey on the go. So when updates and highlights come in, well, sometimes he can't help it. He just realizes it.
With double the 4G LTE bandwidth in cities nationwide, Verizon XLTE turns anytime into hockey time.
There's no better time to join Southern New Hampshire University than now. Transferring doesn't need to be complicated. Students can transfer up to 9 months, saving you time and money without sacrificing your education. Thinking about attending SNU classes this fall? Then come to our school selection program on every Friday. Visit apply to seek admission, scholarship, and credit card decision on the spot. Visit
7 seconds, 7.
Okay. Face-off will come in the neutral zone just outside the Penguins' end of the ice. 4-2 Monarchs. 2 goals by Jordan Wheel, 1 apiece for Brian O'Neill and Justin Auger. O'Neill now, Wheel rather, with 7 goals here in the postseason. Play underway. Pouliot plays in the trapezoid. Going down was McNeil. He just lost an edge. Vandergulik with it.
That's 7 goals in 7 games.
Shot by Forbert, blocked. Vandergulik throws it in the slot. Now O'Brien with it. His shot was deflected. Dowd battling along the end wall. Tied up there by Pouliot. Up with the puck, Wilson plays it in the trapezoid. Pouliot battling with Vandergulik and Dowd. Pouliot wraps it around the wall far side, kept in by Forbert. Now it squirts free all the way down into the Monarchs' end of the ice. Oh, he has been something else. He has been on fire in this postseason. Jordan Wheel with the puck. Drops it off for Forbert. Played in behind the Penguins' cage.
And you know he's getting the best from each team. From Portland, from Wilkes-Barre, he's a point of emphasis. He gets pounded night after night, and it just gets him more upset and creates more of a intensity for Jordan Wheel.
Now O'Neill with it, sends it far side. With it is Wheel, left wing circle, throws it in front, knocked down. Puck loose out in front, and Murray able to cover it up in the blue paint.
Mersch has a guy draped all over his back. He's out front of the net. Wow, and Farnham just hit O'Neill in the head with a stick. Anyway, Mersch, again, he has a guy draped on him, puts the perfect pass onto the stick. There should be a penalty here. I don't know if the referee saw it.
12-12 remaining here in the third. Monarchs on top, 4-2. Out shooting the Penguins by a better than 2-1 margin of 33-15. Temporarily anyway. And now shoving going on, Mersch and Uer. Right in front of the Penguins bench. Jordan Wheel with the 7 goals now, trailing Teemu Pulkkinen of the Grand Rapids Griffins. Grand Rapids not playing tonight. Pulkkinen has 9 goals in 6 games for Grand Rapids. Now puck comes deep in the corner, right wing corner. Mersch battling for it. Dumoulin sends it ahead to Sheary. Sheary plays it back in his own end to Chorney. Chorney in the neutral zone. Chorney shifting over the line, right side. Chorney stops in the right wing corner. And he tried to hit Sheary at the point. Now Auger giving chase. Murray way out of his cage in the corner. Sends it behind the net to Harrington. Harrington on the near side. Now puck is loose. Kept alive by Backman at the line. Knocked down by Harrington. Slides it across to Chorney. Chorney far side. Puck loose along the left wing boards. Auger battling to keep it alive for the Monarchs. Puck wrapped around the wall, kept alive by Gravel, taken by Ebbett. Drops it behind the net for Harrington, chased by Backman. Now Backman tried to clear, was kept in by Vandergulik. Or Backman to Vandergulik, I should say. He wasn't trying to clear, he was trying to get it to Vandergulik. Now Backman with it. Backman, right wing side, a drive! And it goes off the glass behind Murray. Now Backman, side of the left wing circle. Vandergulik shot just wide of Murray. Kept in by Dowd. Now Backman in the right wing circle collects. Backman to Dowd, knocked away in the slot. Miller keeps it in along the right wing wall. Great zone time here for the Monarchs. And Vandergulik, he was just cross-checked.
To the face.
Yep. Harrington cross-checked Vandergulik. Now he got tied up with Sheary, but no call. Now Dowd sweeps it in, knocked down by Harrington as we approach the midway mark of period number 3. Giving chase Miller. Now we've seen calls tonight that should not have been made and calls that should have been made that weren't. Puck wrapped around the dasher on the far side. Megna on it. McNeil has it. Drops it off for Wilson to Pouliot. He's tripped up by O'Neill. And
O'Neill knew it.
That one had to be called. They had to call that penalty. course, you should have called the cross-check on Vandergulik, too.
I mean, there's been tons of stuff that Wilkes-Barre's gotten away with, but yeah, O'Neill knew it. He just skates right in the box. He got the stick in on him and brought him down.
9:46 to go, third period. Penguins power play coming up in 60 seconds on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network. Face off right circle to the left of J.F. Berube. O'Neill in the box at 10:14 of period number 3. Off the draw, puck wrapped around the wall all the way down into the Penguins' end of the ice. Penguins on the power play.
Good win off the face-off by Crescenzi.
Now giving chase. Laverty behind his own net.
Joe Ross just got crunched by the linesman, by Wilson.
Now Vandergulik battling for the puck. He goes down, now knocks the puck away. Shore sends it into the neutral zone, tracked down by Pouliot. Pouliot starting out of his own zone. Pouliot sends it ahead, right side to Kostopoulos. And the puck deflected out of play. With 9:05 remaining, Penguins on the power play for the third time, 1 for 2 in the game. Faceoff will come in the neutral zone just outside the Monarchs line. Dowd will take the faceoff against Megna. Megna and Dowd on the draw. Of course, a win tonight would guarantee another Monarchs playoff game at home, for sure.
Also puts you in a really good position going to Wilkes-Barre, where you obviously would like to end the series there, but you only have to win one to come back here and have 2 chances to close out the Penguins.
Center ice, Chorney with it. Chorney over the line, left side, plays it into the corner. Puck is loose along the end wall. Mersch battling with Megna. Now Dowd with it. Plays it ahead to Miller, and Collin able to send it neutral zone. Taken there by Dumoulin. 50 seconds remaining on the penalty to O'Neill. Over the line, left side, it's Megna. Megna sends it along the end wall. Stolen by the Monarchs. Kept in at the line by Dumoulin. Drops it off for D. Now puck loose in the left wing corner, now along the left wing wall. Crescenzi is there. Forbert able to clear it the length of the ice for the Monarchs. 25 seconds remaining on this Monarchs Terminix penalty kill. With it is Uer over the line. Uer on the back end, drops it back. A shot knocked down, taken by Pouliot. Harrington fans on it. Backman knocks it away. Backman giving chase. Backman broken up by Pouliot.
Gloves right here on the red line.
Now on it, Uer. Uer shifting over the line, left side. Now in the corner, Rowney sends it around the wall behind the net, taken by Wheel. Wheel with a pair tonight. Now Schultz tied up along the end wall. Played into the neutral zone, knocked down by Pouliot. Sends it ahead, knocked down by Mersch. Mersch sends it neutral zone for a Wheel. Wheel gains the line left side, tries to get around McNeil. Now Wheel sends it off the near wall, giving chase is Mersch. Mersch battling with Uer along the end boards. Uer goes down. Mersch digs it out.
Guess what? He just won another puck battle.
Boy, he has been
He's
immense.
the number 1 star. I mean, he hasn't scored a goal and probably won't get it, but he's been the best player. And Wheel's been great, but Michael Mersch has been an absolute monster tonight.
Now Kostopoulos giving chase. Gravel comes up with it on the trapezoid. Puck is loose in the left wing corner. Kostopoulos with it. Left wing corner now bumped by Bodnarchuk. Now blast by McNeil. Goes wide. Berube got a piece of that one. Puck loose. Goes into the neutral zone. Tracked down by Sheary, who drops it off for Goers. Off the stick of Kostopoulos, taken by Miller for Gravel. Back to Colin Miller. Now McNeil knocks it down at the Penguins line. Tracked down by Miller in his own end. Slides it cross ice to Forbert. Now Vandergulik's pass knocked down. And now we get an offside call with 6:11 remaining. Here in period number 3 at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs on top 4-2. Game 3 will be played Saturday night at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And I understand there are going to be some Monarchs fans there in attendance. Face off just outside the Manchester line. Off the draw, Loverty backhands at neutral zone, knocked down by Chorney. Near side, Dumoulin. Dumoulin threw it in front to Chorney. He fell down right in front of his own net. Now D shoved into the wall by Auger. And we're going to get a cross check here on Auger. Now Auger is going off with 5:56 to go in the third. Auger goes to the box for a cross check and puts the Penguins on the power play for the 4th time tonight.
Yeah, the heat is there. And I mean, it looked like he was already going down.
Yeah. That's a marginal call at best.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Face off right circle to the left of Berube. JF has turned aside 14 shots in this one. 4-2 Monarchs. They've outshot the Penguins 33-16. Monarchs control the faceoff. Forbert tries to clear, kept in by Pouliot, former #1 pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now cross ice. Wilson with a drive that's blocked. Center point, Pouliot to Sheary. Sheary with it. Left wing circle, plays it down low. Quick shot save by Berube.
Oh, great work
Puck
by JF in traffic.
covered up.
He tracked it really well. He made an initial stop as it came in on him. It was for point blank, so he couldn't do much with the rebound. Rebound was left out there. He tracked it down low and was able to stay with the puck and hold for the faceoff. JF's been really good tonight too, Ken. He's only seen 18 shots and made 16 saves, but JF's had a solid night. 40 saves last night for JF in the 3 overtime contest. I thought the netminders last night, first period on, were really good.
Oh, they were.
Particularly in the overtime.
Yeah. Well, there was 4 goals in the first period and only 3 the rest of the way. So, and there was a lot left after the first period, that's for sure. Now Sheary with it, broken up by Crescenzi, and Crescenzi clears.
Good pressure on the point. Get to the puck and get it on down on the backhand. Kress has had a good game too in the face-off circle, and he's had a very nice, subtle contest.
Center ice, Ebbett with it. Ebbett broken up by O'Neill in the neutral zone. Now played around the wall, near side on the Penguins' end. Up with it is Pouliot. Just under a minute remaining. Now O'Neill steals the puck, drops it off for Shore. His shot deflected up into the netting. With 4:48 to play in the third period.
A good sign for the Monarchs too is that Shore has been really engaged in these contests, but he hasn't really gotten going offensively the same way that we obviously remember him pre-call up. And that's going to happen. He's going to get more comfortable, and his role with the Kings was a very different one than the role that he has on this hockey club. And I don't know if there's some adaptation going on, if there's what the situation is, but I think he's close to really getting going offensively. And, you know, if they get production beyond that O'Neill, Wheel, and Mersch line, and Shore gets started, that's a big, big thing for the Monarchs.
Puck wrapped around the wall, kept in at the line by Dumoulin. Now on a Kuhnhackl. Sends it into the trapezoid. On it is Bodnarchuk. Bodnarchuk sends it all the way down into the Penguins' end of the ice. Murray leaves it for Dumoulin, former New Hampshire junior Monarch. Out of Boston College, born in Biddeford, Maine. Dumoulin with it in the trapezoid, starting out of his own zone. Penalty winding down on Auger. 7 seconds remaining over the line. Right side moving in Megna. Drops it off. Puck loose in the right wing corner. Stolen by Dowd. Now up with it is Vandergulik. Vandergulik neutral zone. Penalty has expired. Ahead to Auger. Just skipped over his stick in the left wing circle. But offside was whistled against the Monarchs with 3:45 remaining.
Good idea there as he tried to flick it on with the backhand over the stick of the D-man to Auger to get in behind. And I mentioned before, Auger's had a really strong postseason for the Monarchs. That's continued, obviously, tonight. And you think about the impact that he has on the opposition because of his size, but it's also more difficult for a big guy to come back from playing the amount of minutes that these two teams played last night. And the wear and tear, particularly on a guy his age, is significant.
Face off center circle. Wheel and D on the draw. Joe Ross gets set to drop the puck.
Plus, he's played a lot more hockey this year than he's ever played before. And that continues.
Face off won by D to Harrington in his own zone. Harrington sends it center ice, broken up by Bodnarchuk.
Coach Stothers just loves him because he can play him with anybody. You can play him down on one of your depth lines.
Here's Backman with it over the line in the slot. To Auger, left circle, fans on the shot.
Or you could play him with Wheel and Backman like he's doing right now. Very similar to O'Brien in that way. Very comfortable slotting those two players in with anybody.
Sundqvist with it. Farnham back out there, battling with Bodnarchuk now. Jousting with him, goal line extended. Farnham has got the fans fired
Farnham's
up.
Great. I mean, you got to have a villain. You got to have a villain to enjoy the game. Somebody you can boo, somebody who annoys you. And it's great for the game to have guys like that.
Penalty coming up here, or no, I'm sorry, going to the bench is the goaltender Murray for the sixth attacker. 2:50 remaining. So the extra attacker on for the Penguins with 2:45 to go. Trailing by 2, 4-2. Pouliot can't keep it in the zone. And now Mersch battling for the puck. Pouliot has it, being chased by Mersch. Empty net in the Penguins' end of the ice. 4-2 Monarchs, 2:25 remaining in the third period. Pouliot sends it far side. Now to Sheary off his stick. Up with it O'Neill. O'Neill fires it toward the net, but it's going to go well wide, and icing called against the Monarchs. 2:13 to go here in period number 3. 4-2, the Monarchs on top. Game 3, Saturday night, 7:05. We'll be with you at 6:50 for the pregame show on ESPN New Hampshire.
Got a timeout here for Wilkes-Barre Scranton.
10 minutes to go, third period in Utica tonight in the only other AHL Calder Cup playoff game this evening. Oklahoma City and Utica tied up at 1 apiece. Take a quick check of the National Hockey League and see if we can get an update for you there. 9:08 to go in the third. Montreal 6, Tampa Bay 2. Of course, Tampa Bay leading that series 3-0, but it looks like Montreal will at least keep it alive to play another night. And in just a few minutes, it'll be the Blackhawks at Minnesota, with Chicago leading that series 3-0. 2:13 to go in the third period. Face-off will come on the Monarchs' end of the ice. Kostopoulos, Ebbett, Wilson, Kuhnhackl, Sheary, and Pouliot, the 6 attackers out there for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. The net is empty. Matt Murray left with about 2:52 remaining in the third period. Now Wilson plays it to Kostopoulos behind the net. Throws it out in front, stolen by Vandergulik. Now in the neutral zone, O'Neill with it. O'Neill fires toward the net and scores! Empty net goal, Brian O'Neill! Monarchs lead it 5-2.
He roofed it, put it up high. That's the second of the night for Oni, set up previous by Mersch, as Brian O'Neill tallies for the Manchester Monarchs to put this one firmly in the win column.
6th of the postseason now for Brian O'Neill. O'Neill scored the first one tonight for the Monarchs at 9:28 of the opening period. So right now, bookend goals for Brian O'Neill, 5-2 Monarchs, as he let that go from just inside the red line. Crescenzi will take the draw with Ebbett. Murray is back between the pipes. For the Penguins, they trail now by 3. Up with it, Wilson drops it off for Pouliot. And it certainly appears as if the Monarchs will be traveling to Wilkes-Barre with a 2-0 lead. As Murray goes back to the bench, 6 attackers on the ice for the Penguins. Back out it goes to Wilson for a drive, and that's
I've never saw that one. It flew over the top behind him.
Sheary keeps it alive along the right wing wall, kept in by Wilson at the line. Now Loverty behind the net drops it off for Bodnarchuk. Puck loose in the left wing corner, off to our left in the Monarchs' end of the ice. Dug out by Ebbett, wraps it around the wall for Sheary, kept in at the line by Sheary. Now to Kuhnhackl along the end wall. Puck thrown back out to the high slot for Wilson. His shot knocked down, puck loose and sprawled upon by Berube.
Yeah, trickled towards JF.
Here's Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos. He's going after Bodnarchuk. Kostopoulos went after Bodnarchuk and took him down. Kostopoulos wanted to get to somebody tonight and went after Bods. Bods was just kind of standing there after.
I mean, and if Bods has to go off for this again, I'm really getting kind of tired of seeing
crazy.
this guy.
That's crazy.
That's the second time.
Third time.
Third time, you're right. That Kostopoulos or somebody else has engaged one of the Monarchs, grabs them, throws them down to the ice, and then a Monarch gets a penalty for it. I don't get it.
They're showing the replay right now. And no, I mean, this is the third time tonight that this kind of situation has played out, but it hasn't harmed the Monarchs. Bodnarchuk now is going into the locker room, as will Kostopoulos, because there's less than a minute remaining. Bodnarchuk getting the congratulations of his teammates and fans as he heads into the Monarchs locker room. Not quite the same greeting on the other side for Tom Kostopoulos, former Monarch. Oh, Murray.
Mike Stothers wants to face off outside the zone.
Right now, they're planning to have it in the right wing circle in the Monarchs' end of the ice. Matching minors on Bodnarchuk and Kostopoulos. Well, they're off for 2 minutes apiece. It's a 5-on-4 situation now as Murray is back on the bench. Less than a minute remaining. 5 skaters on the ice for the Penguins, 4 for the Monarchs. Crescenzi will take the draw against Ebbett. Won by Crescenzi. Kept in at the line by Dumoulin. His shot goes wide of JF. Ebbett in the corner, back out to Chorney. Center point Dumoulin. Plays it left side to Sheary. Sheary along the left wing wall. Sheary back out to Dumoulin. skates the line, plays it right side, cross ice pass. Sheary collects side of the left wing circle. Thrown out in front. Puck loose and clear the length of the ice by the Monarchs with 27 seconds remaining. And that will be icing against the Monarchs. 27.5 seconds remaining here in period number 3. 5-2 Monarchs, out shooting the Penguins 34-20. Ebbett will take the draw against Nick Dowd. Off the draw, Penguins control. Chorney a drive, and it's gloved by a standing Berube, and he hangs on. With 23.1 seconds remaining in the overtime session. Monarchs getting goals in this period from Wheel and O'Neill. Face off right circle to the left of JF. Ebbett on the draw. Won by Crescenzi. Forbert able to clear it right in front of the Monarchs bench. Hit a bunch of snow in front of the Monarchs bench, and the puck just stopped there. Now knocked down by Gravel, broken up by Ebbett. Megna with it, plays it right side off the wall. 5 seconds remaining. Puck loose in the right wing corner, and that is going to do it. The Manchester Monarchs have taken a 2-0 lead in this Eastern Conference semifinal series over the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Monarchs come off their bench to congratulate victorious goaltender J.F. Berube, who turned aside 18 of the 20 shots in his direction tonight as the Monarchs skate to a 5-2 win over the Penguins, and will head to Wilkes-Barre with a 2-0 lead in this best of 7 Eastern Conference semifinal series. The other Eastern Conference semi is Hartford Hershey, and Hartford won the first game of that series last night on an overtime goal by Chris Bork. So we'll hang around for John DeVoe as he announces tonight's 3 stars of the game. 5-2 the final, as fans here in the building get out about 2 hours before they did last night. So here we go with the announcement of tonight's 3 stars. Brian O'Neill with the number 3 star tonight. Brian with a pair of goals in the game, along with an assist on Jordan Wheel's spectacular goal late in the second period. Star number 2, Michael Mersch, who did not score a goal tonight, but he was a dominant player for the Manchester Monarchs, as he assisted 3 times tonight on goals by O'Neill and 2 by Jordan Wheel. So I guess we know who the number 1 star is going to be tonight, and that would be number 19, Jordan Wheel, with a pair of goals, including the goal to put the Monarchs up to stay late in the second period from a difficult angle. Jordan Wheel skating over to Chris Ryan, and Chris, take it away.
Thank you very much, Ken. Great balanced performance from the Manchester Monarchs tonight. It did not allow a lot of high-quality scoring opportunities. Created a ton of your own. The zone time was good, and really capitalizing opportunities, too. I thought one of the better overall performances from the Monarchs.
Yeah, it was a full 60-minute effort. I thought our first was really good. We only kept them to 3 or 4 shots, and when we're doing that, we're playing well. When we're out shooting teams, we're sticking to our game plan, and we're playing good D, and that creates good offense, and we got to keep that moving forward for game 3 and 4 here.
What you're able to do in the offensive zone on a night-in, night-out basis is flat-out amazing. And talk about the goal that you had, the first one, obviously, where it didn't look like you had any room to shoot the puck, but you found a seam and were able to bury it.
I kind of saw Oni had the puck, and when he's got the puck, it's not many guys can take it away from him. So I thought I'd try and get away from my defender and get open, and he made an unbelievable pass to find me on the side and found a seam.
What's it like having yourself, Oni, and Mersch all playing together? And Mersch's impact, I thought, no offense, that he should have been the #1 star just because of the way that he impacted the game in so many different ways. The puck battle wins, the fact he'd win the puck and then put it in the perfect spot. I mean, I just thought his game was amazing tonight.
Yeah, he's that kid's made a lot of progress this year. He's been playing phenomenal this past 2 months, and he's just got to keep doing what he's doing. He's a workhorse, and when he's going, whatever line he's playing on is going. So if he can keep that up, we're going to have a lot of success.
Wheeler, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Monarchs forward Jordan Wheel, #1 star tonight, Ken, as he scored again. 2 goals tonight for Jordan Wheel. Now 7 goals in 7 games. And it's a lot of fun to watch and be around this Monarchs team as the roll continues.
Boy, that it is. And 2 great victories here, back-to-back nights over the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Monarchs take a 2-0 lead in this best-of-7 Eastern Conference semifinal series. 5-2 your final. Monarchs out shooting the Penguins 34-20. And we'll be back with more in 2 minutes to wrap it up here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.